Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
They called him the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he really was for decades.
He extended his tentacles like an octopus throughout the entire entertainment industry.
Mr. Lou Wasserman.
This is Glitter and Might, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series written and narrated by me, Sean Levy. All episodes are available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. exclusively on the Odyssey app as we go live with Odyssey. Join in on the action as we cover interesting facts, top 10 lists, and some fun new games. Follow the Men's Room page on the Odyssey app and join in all the fun Thursday afternoons at 1.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 18, episode number 3920. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hart. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Tig. Clack, clack. Going to do it. All right, here we go. Tourist in Jamaica learns every little thing is not going to be all right. Meanwhile, a man donates money to a food bank, but now his wallet is kind of light. Ponzi scheme alleged to turn cow poop into clean green energy. Mayor of Helsinki caught spray painting graffiti on tunnel for all to see. And to Maryland, where fireworks try to blow up a home. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours.
All right, earlier this week, we brought up some of the stranger ramen dishes making the rounds in Taiwan, and they include Godzilla ramen, which is a ramen dish served with a big-ass crocodile leg sticking out of it. Frog ramen, served with a half-pound of uncut, unpeeled frog on top. And the aptly named giant isopod with creamy chicken broth, because that is specifically what the dish is. And it's exactly as disturbing as you think. And now, Japan is offering vending machines that dispense whale meat. Now, here's something you might not have known. Apparently, dogs believe that mail trucks are vending machines that dispense human meat. And I say this because over 5,300 postal workers were attacked by dogs last year. And in case you're wondering, Houston is the number 1 city where you're most likely for a mail carrier to get dog teeth in their ass. The good news is that's down from 2021. So apparently it's a downward trend. But then there's an 80-year-old woman in England. She was not bitten by a dog. No, she was left bloodied after being attacked by not 1, but 2 turkeys. Now, it might sound ridiculous, but turkeys are sons of bitches. And if you don't believe me, ask her. And then in Southern California, it's not dogs or turkeys coming after people, it's sea lions. This is not normally the case, but apparently the poisonous algae bloom is affecting sea lions the way PCP affects humans. It makes them rather aggressive. The difference is sea lions weigh about 600 pounds. So have fun with that on your surfboard. So look, maybe we eat some strange things. Maybe some strange things want to sink their teeth into us. But that's exactly what leads us to today's question, which is, what did you bite into? Or what bit into you?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Basic 9.9 KISW.
Hold the fellas, away we go. Welcome to Season 18, episode number 3,920. What a large and in charge program we have for you today on this lovely Wednesday, guaranteed future repeat. Exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people in the news doing bad things.
Oh, yeah.
You take three of those stories and you pit them against each other. It is up to us to determine out of the three which one sucks the least. How are we looking this week on Who Sucks Less?
Ted asked me that, and I just it's effing annoying. That's all. They're not the worst people in the world. You're just like, come on.
Is this a matter of stupidity then?
Entitlement.
Oh, okay.
Two of the three are very much entitlement. The third one, you're just like, guys, come on, man.
Entitlement. That doesn't happen very often anymore.
Oh, no, God, not at all.
Yeah, that's crazy you found those stories. Who Sucks Less coming up. Also on the program, as we do every Monday through Friday, you get more Men's Room at 6 o'clock with the Men's Room Happy Hour. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. And when you get there and download that Odyssey app, be sure to sign in anytime you listen, because you have a chance to win tickets. Every single hour you will be entered for a pair of tickets. So if you listen to the show for 4 hours on the app, 4 different entries for your chance to win tickets to see Disturbed at White River Amphitheater, July 16th. Breaking Benjamin. Also playing.
Oh, nice.
But not only are you getting tickets to see Disturbed, you'll be part of the Disturbed Unstoppable Keg Crusher package.
Right.
Unstoppable Keg Crusher package.
Like the deadly throat punch package.
Premium reserve seats. Access to the pre-show Unstoppable Keg Crusher bar. That includes drinks, a barbecue, which is always cool when a band does a barbecue.
Yes, it is.
Even if they're not cooking the food, they got barbecue there. A limited edition vinyl of their new album. You get a laminate, lanyard, all that stuff. So if you do win the tickets, it's more than just the tickets. It sounds to me like it's pretty good VIP.
That sounds like a fun party.
What's the name of the party again? The
Unstoppable Keg Crusher Party.
The Disturbed Unstoppable Keg Crusher package.
Package.
What it is. Yeah,
say that fast 10 times.
That's a big package right there for you. Yeah. But download the app, log in every time you do, and check out the program. All the podcasts are there. Everything's on one page, by the way. The Men's Room page on the Odyssey app, that's where you'll find Men's Room Radio, all of our podcasts, the daily stuff. If you happen to miss our show yesterday, listen live, all things Men's Room in one location there on the Odyssey app. Download it today. What else do we have for you? Oh, yeah, man, we're getting set for the Men's Room World Tour, stop number 3. That's going down Friday, July 7th from 2 to 6 at Elysian Fields.
Yes.
Apparently, there'll be a lot of people in town for some kind of event down there by the stadium.
I don't know. I think it's just us. We're going to bring all these people.
It's the beginning of the beginning of a big weekend. Did you guys happen to see some of the different food items that they are serving this year at the ballpark for that weekend?
No,
I did not. At T-Mobile?
Oh my! It's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Is it good? I mean, does it look like good stuff?
I think it's good.
Okay.
They have a Dungeness crab roll.
What are they over that stuff all the time?
Motto Pizza, which is really hard to get. Motto Pizza is one of those places. They got one at the stadium, but you need to basically order that like 9 months ahead of time, and then they tell you, like, you have between 3 and 3:30 to pick this bad boy up. Kind of a deal. I think that it's just a small house that does the pizza, but I'm pretty sure that they're in the stadium.
Why do we have to wait for people to come out of town to get good stuff down there, right?
Or just clean up the graffiti or whatever.
Clean up the graffiti, hide the homeless people. You know what I mean? It's like when someone says
actually has great food.
They do, but I'm saying if you're going to offer more, like, we'll keep it all the time. But this is like, someone... Your mother-in-law calls in. I'm 15 minutes away.
Right,
Suddenly you're cleaning the house and scrubbing your toilet.
But we're doing the show live from Elysian Fields on Friday, July 7th from 2 until 6. So stop by and see a live broadcast of the program. Be a part of the live broadcast, obviously.
There's nothing more exciting than watching 4 men talk.
Well, right now, drinking beer. There'll be Men's Room sausage there. There'll be Men's Room salsa from San Juan Salsa, or roasted red salsa. We'll have, of course, Men's Room original ale from Elysian Brewing Company. Stop by, basically, eat dinner there if you want. Hang out with us. Watch the broadcast from 2 to 6. It's absolutely free. You just have to be 21 years of age.
That's it.
To get into Elysian Fields, right by the stadiums. So hopefully we'll see you there for stop number 3 on the Men's Room World Tour. And today on our question, we're going to talk about a couple different topics, but kind of fold it into one question. Now,
it's all mouth stuff.
It's mouth stuff.
Mouth stuff.
Mouth stuff, either from other things or mouth stuff from you, as far as what you have bit into it under. Unlike our segment Bite Me category on Profile This is more about some of the more unusual things you've had in your mouth. It could be the fact that at one point in time there was a story about a woman who dog either defecated in her mouth while she was sleeping.
She was asleep. She had a chihuahua. The chihuahua had diarrhea. Turns out the chihuahua had diarrhea because it had some kind of parasite or infection. Dog pooped on her face and went into her mouth. She ended up getting sick, and I think she went into a coma.
She did. She was pretty messed up. All kinds of strange foods that you might have bit into or got a chance to try, and we have some of those. And some
have you shown Ted the pictures of any of these?
I have not. But
I went out of my way.
Okay.
Normally, I don't print pictures for work for obvious reasons, but Ted, I made it a point yesterday. So going through these ramen dishes, I'm like, they just need to see. Mike, have you posted any of those?
Not yet. No.
Okay, so in Taiwan, Ted, they've got a Godzilla ramen, and basically it's a crocodile leg.
Okay.
That comes out of a bowl of ramen.
Can I eat it?
I'm assuming you can. Yes.
That does not.
Yes, I bet
the
you
leg?
can. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, it's braised. Actually, yes, you
right,
can.
It's braised crocodile leg sticking out of the bowl. So that's a pretty unusual thing right there.
Gator is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's probably. Do you have to say it like that?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Gator good.
Because you call them alligators, but if you're going to eat it, it's a gator.
Another place in Taiwan serves a scary deep dish creature.
There's no chance.
Yeah?
On top of their ramen.
What is that?
What is that thing that is called?
Looks like it's a giant beetle.
It's an isopod. And an isopod, so crabs are isopods, lobsters are isopods.
But these are way deep down isopods.
Right. This is different. I mean, that.
Should we be going down there to get those?
Depths of 7,000 meters. So do the math on that if you can. I just know 7,000 meters is a long way down. So these are like
what, 22,000 feet?
These are the things that they find in, like in rock formations on top of mountains. These bad boys have been around for millions of years.
But the size of I cannot explain how large this
Damn, that's almost 4.5 miles.
Just posted that one to the Men's Room Facebook page.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Unpeeled
Tell
frog.
me if you
unpeeled frog. Oh God, frog ramen! Look at that damn thing.
It's
frog ramen.
It's not good.
Oh God, does that look awful? Look at that. You couldn't pay me to. And I know the frog. I've had frog legs. They're not that bad.
Yeah, but that's not peeled. It hasn't been gutted. It hasn't been peeled. It's literally just a frog that they steamed and then thrown on top.
I told you I was on a crazy, not crazy, but a guy's trip to upstate Pennsylvania, almost Canada.
All right.
So we had some little fish we were using as bait in this lake. Somewhere along the way, like somebody was like, "Oh yeah, it's, maybe I shouldn't tell this. It's going to sound bad." Okay. They were tiny fish. They were going to die anyhow.
When you start any story with "they were going to die anyhow,"
eventually everything does.
So we bit the head off them.
Just as a dare?
Yeah, and it became like a thing.
How many did you bite through?
Well, everybody had to do one. So over the weekend, it became like a thing, right? And but then we ran out of fish. Somebody grabbed a frog.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
They bit the head off of a frog?
Yeah, it was gross.
Oh, God.
God, man.
Well, that answers our question.
I mean, did you visually see?
Oh, I could see it right now as I'm talking to you. I could visualize it.
Did he, say, you know what, I'm going to grab a frog, or did he just snatch this thing and do it?
He just was tired of us, razzing him, being like, "You're the little punk. You never bit the head off a fish."
Wait, he never bit the head off a fish, but he bit one off of a frog.
Right, so he just kind of snapped. Also, special guest appearance that evening from Grain Alcohol.
All right.
So I think that helped.
You drove a man so angry that he bit the head off of a frog.
It's the first thing he found.
God damn.
So, part one, if you could answer that question, what are the stranger things that you have bitten into over the years?
Think about it.
Whether that is a food product, an unusual food product.
I had a fist in my mouth once when a guy punched me.
Yeah, like Ted maybe
I'm
wasn't
glad it was from a punch.
ready to be a food product. Then there are things that bite you. And we go to Monroe County, Florida, as terrifying video shows a fisherman being pulled overboard by a shark in the Florida Everglades.
They had said, don't put your hands in the water.
Yes, the close call happened in Flamingo, the southernmost headquarters of the Everglades National Park. Group of friends were fishing for snook and tarpon, like they usually do, when one man went to release a fish that he just caught. Now, he quickly dipped his hands in the water to rinse them off after he let go of the fish. His buddy, you can hear on the camera, on the video, saying, "I wouldn't put your hands in there." The man laughed it off, replying, 2 seconds. That won't do anything. When he stuck his hands in the water once again, the unimaginable happened, but not unimaginable to his friend. He screamed as a shark latched onto his right hand and dragged him off of the boat into the water. Get him! Get him! Get him, Cooter! The group can be heard shouting as they scramble.
Did you add Cooter or so?
Yeah. Doesn't it seem like
Cooter, get back in the boat. You're gonna get eaten.
Luckily, the man suffered only a hand injury, and he was airlifted to Jackson South Medical Center for treatment. Airlifted to the hospital from the middle of Florida Everglades. We know how much that cost based on our caller yesterday.
Yeah, $100,000.
$100,000. The group said it was a lemon shark that pulled their friend into the water. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, lemon sharks are a tropical species that inhabit both estuarine and nearshore waters.
Estuarian.
Estuarine.
Like an estuary. But so it's estuarian.
No, it's not. It's estuarine. Estuarine. What is that word? I've never even seen it in my whole life. Estuarine.
They swim in water close to the land.
I guess they're brackish, is what they're basically saying, right? Kind of like a bull shark or any of these sharks that kind of can swim.
I don't know. That's just saying they're in shallow.
Yeah, okay. The group, wildlife experts say lemon sharks often venture into freshwater areas.
Oh, there you go. They can do both.
But don't go as far up.
I'm down for anything.
I'm a freak.
I'm a lemon.
I'm a lemon shark.
Lemon shark here to party.
You want some of my juice? Make some lemonade. Get in the water, big boy.
I'm going to break you all some zest.
Put your hands in my mouth.
So they go up the river, but they don't go up as far as a bull shark does. A bull shark apparently can handle
bull shark puts in the work.
Yeah.
He goes all the way up that river.
The man's injuries were consistent with a shark bite, but it was unclear the species was responding. Yes, because you saw a video, a shark come up and bite the guy and drag his ass in the water.
Yeah.
I love the fact they got to speculate everything, like they're afraid they're going to get sued or something.
Wait, we saw the shark in the video bite him. What other bite did you think it's going to be?
They say while shark bites are extremely uncommon in Everglades National Park, we always recommend visitors take caution around wildlife.
Are they uncommon? Because they already said, Cooter, don't put your hands in the water.
You put your hand in the water. It's one thing to put your hands in the water. You just released a fish in the water. There's going to be a little bit of blood from the hook, everything else. But when you put your hand in the water and the shark actually pulls your ass off the boat into the water.
Completely out of the boat.
You're not even in the water. As your dad would say, you don't want to get bit by a shark, don't go into the water. He really wasn't in the water except for his hands. He was rinsing him off.
And you don't want to, just throw the fish. Because it'll stun him when he hits the water. So you got to kind of let him back in.
Oh, the hook in his mouth, that part's cool.
Seriously.
I'm throwing it. After watching that video, sorry, fish, I'm throwing your ass back in.
It's not that big of a deal. You've kissed a girl with a piercing in her lip.
I sure have.
It's the same thing.
I've kissed a girl with a piercing in her lip.
Maybe that's what you do when you catch fish.
What's that?
You put in a nice little, stunt.
Yeah.
Just so people know this fish has been caught, but now it's a stylish fish.
Well, hardcore, yes. That's a stylish fish you caught.
Just like an old earring, a single that you maybe have left behind, that you lost the other one, whatever the deal is. Just got to put that bad boy in there. Now you got a stylish fish.
Anyone in there braces?
And everyone will know, even if it's like a hoop ring, everyone will know that if you fish in that area, you'll know any fish I caught, because I'm a catch and release guy. However, I tag all my fish with a hoop ring in the lip from where I hooked them.
Anyone have braces? Because you're talking about kissing a chick.
I had braces growing up.
Did you have them at an age where you kissed anyone?
I don't believe I did.
Because I've heard horror. I never had braces.
Maybe. People getting stuck?
People getting stuck. That's my favorite. Because, you are face to face, man. And I got my braces out. And one chick, I want to say, got her lip cut. The kid.
I think nowadays it'd be more common, because I know a ton of adults that get braces.
For sure. I would get Invisalign. Be like, Mom, I got a girlfriend now. Get me Invisalign.
I had a girlfriend in high school that had braces. She also had the little hinges that are
okay, now let me ask you
rubber bands? Or
no, they were straight up brackets. They were metallic.
Did you guys ever engage in coitus of the oral kind? Because if you have braces, it's I don't want to get picky, but man, seriously, you got to watch your teeth, because that's like barbed wire going down.
I'm trying to remember if she had braces at the time.
Did the Eagle Scout fly?
So she did hook you up. You just can't remember.
Oh, all right.
Braces on.
How about that? Now we go to the other side of the table.
Wasn't an issue either way.
I don't know. I don't even know if she had braces.
Which badge was that?
Right. A Japanese whaling operator, after struggling for years to promote its
God damn.
To promote its products amid protests from conservationists, has found a new way to cultivate clientele and bolster sales. Whale meat vending machines. The unmanned outlet known as the Whale Store recently opened in the port town near Tokyo of Yokohama. And they house 3 vending machines for whale sashimi, whale bacon, whale skin, whale steak, as well as canned whale meat.
Gotta be good.
Yeah.
What kind of whale?
Anywhere from $7.70 to $23, depending on what you buy in there. So I'm assuming the whale steak maybe is the premium, $23. I don't know. The vending machines are decorated with cartoon whales, and they've launched 3 locations in the capital region. It opened after 2 others were introduced in Tokyo later this year. Whale meat, as you know, obviously been controversial, but sales in the new vending machines have quietly gotten off to a big start. Anti-whaling protests have subsided since Japan in 2019 terminated its criticized research hunts in the Antarctic and resumed commercial whaling off of the Japanese coast. I believe that when my daughter was teaching in Japan, she either had whale for... Now, keep in mind, she's living with a family.
Yeah.
So from a cultural standpoint,
I don't eat that.
You can't be an ethnocentric piece of crap. You have to kind of conform to the cultural norms. So she was dolphin, whale, whatever it was.
She's not sure.
I believe she got the idea that, look, they're not...
She didn't ask. What is this?
They're pretty well still third cousins. They're pretty closely related. I think the meat is also fairly similar, but either way...
how does she say it was?
So I think as far as anybody in my family... Well, my kids, man, I mean, she ate bugs at vendors in Thailand. She's probably eaten more weird food than anybody in my family.
Sure.
Or my daughter, because she ate a lot of weird crap.
Ted was saying something earlier in the office, and I'm inclined to agree. So you're saying, like, if you're staying with the family, right? So a family's fostering you, you're there for a couple of months, teaching, whatever. Based on the idea that you have to eat what they're going to serve you, what parts of the country, of the world, would be the last place you'd want to be? Because Ted, you said Southeast Asia.
England.
Yeah.
And man, you know what, man? You might be right.
I mean, I have to eat at the home?
Because you're going to eat what the family
But they're not making Indian food.
Right. They're not making Indian food in England.
No, not at
home.
I mean, I think I could survive on fish and chips and sausage rolls.
Like, I could do that part, but if they're breaking out the haggis and the other stuff, like, I feel like here's the difference, right? Southeast Asia, you go like, okay, maybe I'm not used to this, but the way
still going to taste good.
You interpret it as being exotic food. In England, you're like, this is just crap. Mm-hmm. It's not exotic. This is just straight up garbage.
It's a white piece of bread. It's toasted.
It's got beans on it. Mm-hmm. Cool.
I mean, it's not the worst. You would definitely lose weight.
Oh, yeah.
Going to any of these places. Because you'd be like, I don't need it. Like, you're not going for seconds. This is not, I don't even know if that's culturally acceptable anywhere else except for the United States.
Would you like more stuffed tarantula? No, man, I am good.
I mean, no other country is known for their all-you-can-eat buffets.
Right.
It's not like people are calling out for it.
I mean, there's definitely some foods I would try if I was in other countries.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I think the worst country, probably like Vietnam, something like that.
Maybe the food's fantastic.
It might be, but also...
I mean, Vietnamese food is not bad.
It is, but they're not serving the tarantula that they will also eat. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm staying with a family and they're like, well, we prefer tarantula over the thing that you like, well, that's a problem.
We actually found him in your bedroom last night, so I figured we'd get his ass out of there.
Yeah.
What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
As a parent, no 2 days are ever the same. At Care.com, you can find trusted and flexible sitters to help manage your family's ever-changing schedule. Care.com can even help you out with housekeepers, dog walkers, senior caregivers, and more, so you can find care for all you love. And 100% of caregivers who use Care.com have been background checked with CareCheck, a key first step in hiring confidently. To get the help you need to make it all work, sign up now and find a great sitter at Care.com.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
What did you bite into? Or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Tim, what did you bite into?
So, little backstory. Had a cabin up in the mountains. We had this one restaurant our family would go to quite frequently. And there was a head chef that was, just say, visually unappealing, but politically correct looking. So anyway, we were on our way home, stopped off to get some food to go. I ordered a quart of soup. So we're driving home, probably about 15 minutes away from the restaurant. I'm driving and I'm chugging down this quart of soup, and all of a sudden I got something in my mouth that didn't seem right. So and I had two super thick either fingernails or they even could have been toenails for this.
Oh no.
It was and I lost it, man. I had to pull over. I blew everything out of my stomach. My kids were just laughing their heads off, but it was not very pleasant.
The nail was big enough that you think it could have been a toenail?
It was, like a thick, like big toenail. It was gross. I mean, there was two of them in my soup.
Do you have any reason to believe that this guy did not like you?
No, he had no idea. I don't know. I never said a word to him.
Look, man, I cooked for 12 years, and I mean, maybe a fingernail gets in somebody's food, but toenails, that would have to be deliberate.
Right. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm just speaking from my own experience. My fingernails aren't as thick as these were, so it could have been from his fingers, his toes. I don't know, but it was just I can't tell you how gross that is.
Look, I found a cigarette butt and hand-cut fries.
I would take that over a toe or fingernail.
And you can also tell that these fries were cut not with a potato pull type of.
You said cut by hand.
They were cut by hand because they were not. In no way were any of the potatoes the same, thickness or any of that, right? So I could see where the person who might have been cutting and peeling and doing the potatoes maybe was smoking a cigarette outside doing it, maybe. Or something.
In any restaurant. Bad idea. But like my grandmother, man, great cook. I never saw her cook without a cigarette in her mouth. And the thing was, she never took it out of her mouth. She's one of those people, right? Mm-hmm. So she would just talk and this thing's bouncing up and down. And my brother and I were kids. And we sit at the little table and she's like yapping to my mom. And we just wait for the ash to get kind of long. And we just watch it break off and drop into whatever she's stirring to cook. Yeah. And we never said anything because the truth is, by the time you ate the food, you couldn't taste the ash. We only knew it was there. Because every day, we watched it fall into pancake batter, we watched it fall into gravy, we watched it fall into mashed potatoes, we watched it fall into barbecue. It just didn't matter. Right. She smoked Salem's, man, and my brother would always nudge me. We just kind of watch and wait for it. Yeah. It's like, man, we just saw 3 ashes fall into the food that she stirred and never took the cigarette out of her mouth.
We were looking at the 7 fish feast or whatever it is on
Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Yeah, so fish head soup. That was always on the menu in the house.
Right.
Fish head soup is literally a fish head in soup. So it does have a bit of a fishy taste. There's no fish meat in there whatsoever. Maybe some from the cheeks by the time that the fish kind of boils down, but otherwise it's a fish head. And that's all it is in the soup. So
what is the base of the soup?
The base of the soup would probably be a little bit more like a minestrone or a vegetable base.
So it's that kind of thick soup?
It's a tomato-based soup, but
it's like broth, right?
Yeah, but it's got vegetables in it. At least the version that my great-grandmother did. But at one point in time, her name was Nunny. Is showing my cousin.
What's your other grandmother's name?
That was my stepfather's grandmother. She just went by Nunny. She was straight off the boat from Sicily.
Okay.
So she spoke some English more than Poppy did. Poppy didn't speak any English. He just pointed his crooked finger at you and shake it. But she pulled up the spoon to show my cousin Daryl the head. And Daryl goes, ooh. And his dad, Dave, is walking through the kitchen. And Dave says, Daryl, if you eat that eyeball, you don't have to go to Mass tonight. And you don't have to go to Mass tomorrow. Even if you were 10 years old, you went to midnight Mass. Even if it was just for, it was just, that's what the Catholics did. Then they got up in the morning and they did it again. He's like, you went to midnight Mass. And then you wake up in the morning.
You got up the next morning and went back.
If we went to midnight Mass, that counted. Like we would go to Mass on Christmas Eve, and that was it.
Okay, so then wake up and.
But I wasn't Italian.
Yeah, go. Yeah, but then you go to 11 too. And these masses, especially on Christmas Day, midnight Mass is a little bit more abbreviated because it's midnight.
Sure.
Christmas Day Mass is almost as long as a Catholic wedding,
which is the longest thing.
This is a big god. It's like Easter, is it?
Right.
It's just a longer Mass. So I said, if you eat that eyeball out of there, man, he says you don't have to do either. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. So Dave reaches down, pops that eyeball out, puts it in his hand, hands it to Daryl. Daryl pops it in his mouth, and you see him like just that hard swallow.
Right. I don't want to taste this.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to, like the gulp swallow, And he did it. He just threw his hands up in the air. He's like, yes, yes. Everybody hated it. I didn't get dragged to either one of those things. I went to a different church, but he was. I was grossed out because it was an eyeball. Like it's an eyeball. When you see an eyeball, it doesn't matter what the animal is.
Right, it looks like an eyeball.
It's definitively an eyeball.
I would eat an eyeball to get out of something I really don't want to do. They say you got to eat a fish eyeball. I'd be like, all right, bring it on. I don't like this, but I would rather do that than do what you want.
Just swallow it like an Advil or whatever. Just get it over with. What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Some people love the eyeballs.
Some people do. Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. Just as a kid,
and you can.
Because that was the thing that kind of turned you off. Not the fish head. The fact that the fish looked like it was looking at you.
Of course it was.
That was what.
Was the eyeball all cloudy?
I don't think so, man.
Really? So
it was just the eyeball.
All right. Because wait, do you actually cook the fish head with the soup, or is it just put in the soup after
the
soup's made?
You cook the whole head. That's why you use the cheek meat.
Okay.
Okay. So you get the whole head.
Yeah, cheek meat.
Cheek meat.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, what bit into me was a student that I worked with about a year and a half ago.
Oh, that's nice.
How old is this kid that bit you?
22.
22 years old. Okay.
I work with special needs young adults. I am one of the few people that's trained in what's called CPI. So,
what does that stand for?
Crisis Prevention Intervention. So
Okay.
I'm trained in nonverbal de-escalation, verbal de-escalation, and safe restraints and hold.
Does that mean you had to take a self-defense class?
Not really. It's more of getting out of chokeholds, hair pulls, blocking from kicks and punches. We try very hard to not actually touch the student. We let them go after us, and we just kind of block what they're throwing at us.
Do you ever say, come at me, bro?
No.
Okay.
You're not an
I am
antagonist.
not going to encourage that.
Okay.
But it was myself, 3 other staff members, and 2 security guards escorting a student to a sensory room because he was having a bad day. The nonverbal student, we really honestly couldn't tell us what was bothering him. But he was trying to run off campus and into the streets. They were doing basically a 6-point march. 2 people are holding on to him, 2 in the front and 2 in the back in case he broke out of a hold so somebody could step in and re-grab onto him.
How big is this guy?
About 6 foot and about probably 180, 200 pounds.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm about 5'4", 5'5".
I noticed you left the weight off, but, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. 110.
Okay, well, I will say that I used to be a size 8, and my husband helps me not be a size 8 anymore.
Does that mean your husband's a good cook?
So we got him into the sensory room. He starts to calm down, and then all of a sudden he re-escalates, pulls out his junk, pees on the floor at me, and then proceeds to bolt towards the door to try to escape, and I'm standing in that doorway, so I block it with my body, and he chomps down on my shoulder.
On your shoulder. Did he break the skin?
On my shoulder. Fortunately, no. I did not. He did not break skin. I did not get rabies, and I did not turn into a zombie. I'm good to go.
So far.
Not yet.
So far.
This is a grown man biting your shoulder.
It's been a year and a half. I think I'm in the clear.
No, it's a 2-year incubation period for the zombie thing.
Do you think he was conscious enough to know that he did that after the fact when you saw him again?
Yes. He basically let go immediately and backed off and realized what he had done. They just react so fast. They react off of a very primal brain, and they just will go.
Right.
You know, it's funny, Sarah. First date with my wife, I, too, pulled out my junk, peed at her, charged her, and bit her. Mm-hmm. And now we're married.
Well, at least yours was consensual.
How's he doing now?
Wow. She demanded it. Yeah.
I hope he's doing well. He's aged out of our program. I'm hoping he's getting the help that he needs.
So when they age out of the program, if you're still going from the primal brain, like where do they go next?
Which middle school to high school? Or what's the next step?
So we're actually a transitional program. We try to get them out in the community, find jobs, or at least help their families find some sort of adult care facilities, or at least some sort of behavioral program. It really kind of depends on the abilities and the range of the student. Otherwise, we just try to get families lined up for respite care at home.
Okay. And as far as you said, all the self-defense training essentially that you had to take, like how long is this course?
It is, depending on how many people are in the class, it's slated for 6 hours at a time for 2 days.
So you get a lot of training.
Essentially 12 hours.
Okay. Are there students that you legitimately have a concern for your well-being that you have to teach?
Yes.
And what are you worried about specifically?
You just never know what a trigger is going to be. You just kind of always have to be on the lookout for a student that might all of a sudden just fly off the handles. You just have to, I guess the best way to put it is really listen with your eyes of their body language, any vocalizations that they might have, because you never know when one of them might try to headbutt you or kick you or bite you. Yeah, I was actually headbutted earlier today.
Today?
Yeah. Oh, she only got me in the shoulder. fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
No problem. Man, oh, man.
Well, that killer only elbowed his attorney in the shoulder.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did you have any idea that it was coming, or did it just, like you said, just happen split second?
That one I kind of knew was coming because they were having a really, really hard day. But I'd much rather me get hurt than any one of my coworkers or any of my other students get hurt.
See, I feel differently about my coworkers. But no, headbutt him.
That's amazing. You can do that for a living. It really is. I know there's a lot of gratitude toward what you do. People, I know all the family members that have children in there. I know that's a big deal. But to take that job and take on that responsibility, that's pretty admirable. I don't know if I could do that.
I just wish the district knew what we did and would actually acknowledge that we deserve to be paid way more than we're paid.
If you have a job where you're going to get headbutted and bitten, I mean, and that's just part of the deal, yeah.
Right. That's even illegal in boxing.
That's a good point.
You can't bite, can't headbutt.
I don't think there's any combat sport you can do that in.
Students that they're not going to get it. I wish they would, but they're not.
Okay.
Wow. Good on you for doing it. When do you have a good day? Like, if you come home and your husband sees you, I mean,
what's the break?
What qualifies as a good day for you after all that?
Minor injuries. I don't know. No injuries. A lot. Mostly just if it's just screaming, it's been a good day.
All right. So all you're looking for him is maybe to cook dinner and massage later on, right?
Cook. If he typically almost always cooks dinner. If he does the extra and does the dishes for me, that's even better.
All right. Sounds like you did okay.
I feel like he's listening to the show and you're trying to signal him.
And you don't have to worry about him headbutting you.
Yeah.
Or biting you that you don't want.
Man, oh man. I can't imagine doing that job. Like you said, it's an admirable thing. It's a noble thing.
Especially when you are not able to be on the offensive. It would be one thing to be attacked. It'd be another thing to only be able to resist. Because if you get punched in the face, your natural reaction is to punch back. No matter who you are or what the situation.
Or drop to the ground and cover your face. It just depends who you are and who hit you.
Exactly. But in that situation, you're hands off. So
of course. So the fact that she was headbutted today.
But you can't headbutt back.
And even to ask her what constitutes a good day, it took her a while to answer the question. Like, how do I have a good day? What is a good day?
My problem is a 22-year-old dude, and he headbutts me. I'm going to headbutt him back and go, see how that feels? And I'm going to headbutt him right on the frickin' bridge of the nose and hopefully try to
There's a reason people like you don't teach special needs.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's just not. I mean, it's just like you just snap. Like if somebody takes a swing at you, man, you're ready.
Sure.
I just don't. I would have a hard time resisting that urge if I got punched in the face, like you mother, to just absolutely wail on somebody.
But see, that's why I'm not a teacher. Because
not that I'm going to win, but I'm sure going to try.
But there's certain times you can quell that urge.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time you quell it. I'm telling you, I think the worst job would have to be like a middle school teacher. Right? Because then it's like, I want to go on the offensive. And yes, I know this kid's 13, but I want to drop this kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's I'm sorry. That is the worst.
Don't think that it's not thought.
I know that it's thought, but somehow the kids know, and you can't do anything. You can't do anything.
What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Northwest Handling Systems is hiring now. Recognized for their industry-leading products, they're hiring field service technicians for equipment troubleshooting, diagnosis, and repair. Entry-level technicians start at $27 an hour with full benefits, plus a $2,000 sign-on bonus. A leading distributor of material handling equipment for over 50 years, serving Alaska, Washington, and Oregon. Apply today at nwhs.com/careers. Northwest Handling Systems, an equal opportunity employer.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
They called him the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he really was for decades.
He extended his tentacles like an octopus throughout the entire entertainment industry.
Mr. Lou Wasserman.
This is Glitter and Might, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series written and narrated by me, Sean Levy. All episodes are available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Curiosity surrounds you at Pacific Science Center's Boeing IMAX Theater with state-of-the-art digital projection and sound. Watch your favorite blockbusters on Washington's largest screen. That's 4,800 square feet of the world's greatest heroes and villains coming at you in 2D and 3D. And you're supporting science education in the process. Check out our upcoming schedule and get your tickets before they're gone at pacsci.org. That's PACSCI.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
U.S. Postal Service just released its annual report on dog attacks. They say more than 5,300 of their employees were attacked last year. That's actually down a bit from 2021, when 5,400 were reported to be attacked. California and Texas were the top two states again, which makes sense since they have the most people. 1 in 5 attacks happened in those two states. So 1 in 5 is either going to be in California or Texas. But there's a new number one city for dog attacks and mailmen. Congratulations. Houston, Texas. Jumping from second to first. Cleveland, sorry, you topped the list a year ago, but dropped to fourth place this time.
Cleveland went from 1 to 4?
1 to 4.
Oh, man. And they have the dog pound.
Yeah, top 5 cities for dog attacking postal workers are Houston at 57 attacks, Los Angeles at 48, Dallas at 44, Cleveland at 43, and San Diego at 39. Our question, what did you bite into or what bit into you?
We got a couple of texts here regarding Sarah, who called, and she works with special ed adults, right, and just said, man, she's been bitten, head-butted, et cetera, et cetera. Someone here says, my mother was a special education teacher and district director for almost 4 decades. I can confirm that many students kicked, punched, bit, or head-butted her over the years. Special education teachers, damn near saints, and deserve at least 6-figure salaries. Someone else says, I used to work for a school district, and I did exactly what Sarah does. F that. The rules nowadays, those behaviors are ridiculous, and there's cameras everywhere. If you get caught putting your hands on a child, you're liable to be sued. But that student can beat the hell out of you all day. I quit before I got in any sticky situations.
It's probably a smart move. If you don't have the temperament for it, like I know that I do not. I know that I would snap. As far as if someone's going to lay hands on me. So I'm going to defend myself with my hands, but again, if someone punches me in the face or headbutts me, man, I'm retaliating.
The one that would piss me off
just to try to diffuse the situation.
But to be getting bitten, I think that's the one I'd snap. Like, I understand, they're throwing punches. I could deal with that for a while. Like, did you just bite me? Seriously, man?
I got bit by a rock girl or like some gala because she was all...
What?
Oh, yeah.
Why did she bite you?
We were doing some either like the holiday thing or one of those things. Well, I believe that...
Did you do something?
No, I believe that she was having a bit of a difficult time. Is the best way that I can describe it. But, I mean, she left a huge mark and almost broke skin on my arm. I was just sitting on the couch and she grabbed my arm and bit it.
That's like an upstairs thing, whatever?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. And I was like, dude, trust me, I went and talked to people about it. I was like, dude, you got somebody in there who's really not doing okay.
Was she like melting down, freaking out?
I don't know what was going on. I really I have a feeling she was either under the influence of something or
very possible.
Whatever the deal was. That was kind of a shocker.
So she just grabbed your arm.
She bruised it.
And then bit it.
And they wouldn't let go. And I'm like, I don't even know you.
How long did you have her mouth?
Like 30 seconds. At least. I'm just like, this is weird. And then like,
did you say anything like, hey?
A couple of her friends came like, what are you doing? She's like, ah. And I'm like, I don't know you. This is very strange.
That's a little weird, man.
That's right.
I did not know you were bitten by a rock girl.
Oh, yeah. I will not forget that one. That was a weird night. That was the night me and Marty were on the couch later smoking a joint.
That night. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Marty.
Mm-hmm. What did you bite into or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, TC. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Boo, bitches.
Boo.
I was on my way home from swimming at Yost Pool in Edmonds, and there was a horse tied up to a telephone pole alongside the road. I saw that he couldn't get any of the grass around him, so I picked up a couple of handfuls of long grass and fed it to him. Had him on the neck as I was going by, and the sucker turned around and bit me in the butt. Grabbed my left cheek.
Really?
Oh, no. Yeah, I got home and my mom was there. I pulled down trail, and she just started laughing. Mom's the oldest of 9 and farmer's daughter in Ohio. And, I had a bruise on my butt for 2 weeks.
I bet you did. I mean,
they got big-ass teeth, too.
They got horse got a big-ass head.
Yeah, perfectly formed mouth print.
Okay.
I've never been bitten on the
I
ass.
would not want to be bit by a horse. No. I have been almost peed on by a horse.
Yeah. I almost would rather be bitten. Based on what I've seen,
look,
when horses pee, like, man, bite me.
I think the most dangerous place to be is behind a horse, period. Because they're either going to pee on you or they're going to jump back into the roar.
That's what they say.
Yeah, or kick you.
Yeah.
I mean, they can definitely bite you from the front, but you don't want to take anything from the back. I'd almost rather be bit than I would be kicked.
If you get kicked by a horse in like the head or directly in your chest, you could die.
Mm-hmm. Man, this chick I was dating years ago, she wanted to go horseback riding. I'm like, fine, right? Whatever. I think I'd done it once in my life, like on a field trip in elementary school or something. But at this point, I'm an adult. I'm like, all right, we can go. There's like 8 of us, and we're waiting for the horses. So they ask you your weight, ask your height, blah, blah, blah. So they can figure out which horse they're going to put you. Right. So I'm like, well, I'm 6'4". I think I was like 180 at the time or something like that. So the guy was like, oh, I'll put you on Mouse. Well, to me, Mouse indicates that you're small. I'm telling you, this is the biggest goddamn horse I've seen in my life. And I'm like, that horse is for me. He's like, yeah, go ahead, climb on. Shockingly, I climbed on top of it with relative ease. But it's weird. I just could not believe how big this goddamn horse was. And just sitting on top of it, I'm like, if this horse decides to buck me off, I mean, there's not in control nothing. I know it's the thing. You guide them, and I had the reins, and they're explaining how to do that. And look, everything ended up being fine. But my whole thought process, like, if this horse decides that it does not want to obey the reins, there's nothing I can do.
What is the one? What is
the
the one animal that if you had to ride it, like they said, look, man, you got to ride an animal.
But like successfully,
so we know that humans ride elephants, they ride
horses, camels,
horses, mules. What else what else can we ride? We can't ride a giraffe, obviously.
Can you ride a pig?
I guess it'd be big enough.
I mean, kids ride sheep.
Yeah, but I feel like your feet would drag with a pig.
All right. I think we've named all the rideable animals, haven't we?
I think so. We got camels.
I feel like I wouldn't want to be on an elephant because of how high you are up. So if the elephant, for some reason, got spooked or any of that, then, sometimes they have like a little rickshaw. Not rickshaw, but like a little...
Whatever that thing is, right?
Yeah, on top. But, I mean, if you're just on top of an elephant, that just seems like a long way down.
It does, but...
Plus, you're really straddling that bad boy. Like, it's not like you can kind of grab on with your legs. I mean, you're going to be wide-bodied on that thing, unless you, like...
I think I would take the elephant. I mean, I'd like to be able to... Like, when I was a kid, we used to ride horses because the lady that babysat us, like her family, had something to do with horses.
All right.
But, like... I haven't been on a horse in years. I feel like I'd rather just kind of cruise around on an elephant.
I think I'd ride on a camel.
No, man, because camels, they already have a bad attitude.
But they don't buck.
They don't buck, but like elephants don't buck. Here's the difference. I don't see elephants running a lot.
I do.
You know what I mean?
No, I watch animals.
With people
what about like a llama?
Can you ride a llama?
Oh, yeah.
You can.
I'm looking at a llama right now. He's got a saddle.
Maybe that's the way to go.
Is there a place around here we can ride llamas?
Oh, probably. Do a llama race?
Or alpaca. Maybe an alpaca.
What else is the difference between llama and alpaca?
Do you like the alpaca?
They look very similar.
I know there's
llamas are D's.
Oh, okay. So basically,
seriously, alpaca's a nicer animal.
So it's like a chimpanzee and a bonobo. They look the same. Chimpanzees basically are people high on PCP. Bonobos are more like people on a peyote trip. Except for whatever reason, even though they look identical, bonobos are just chill, man.
But alpacas make great socks.
They do, man.
Unbelievable
yes,
fur.
They do.
Blankets, everything.
Right. What did you bite into or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Sorry, Mike, I'm an alpaca guy. I thought you knew that.
I'm just saying that I typed in, can you ride a llama? And it says big bold letters, not suitable as riding companions.
Well, what am I looking at here?
I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, Ted. I'm saying that that's probably not the best way to go when it comes to your choice of mount there.
Is that a saddle or is it just something over its back?
I don't know.
I mean, they're saying, like, don't do it.
I mean, I'm sure people have. I just don't know that it's a good idea.
Look, Wikipedia says you could ride a llama.
Okay, well, you can.
Well, I guess you ride anything.
They were just saying it's not a good idea. All right.
I mean, I can tell you what the dangerous thing I rode was.
What's her name? Hello, Willie. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor pudding.
Oh, no.
Hey, guys, I was going to tell you about biting into haggis, about eating haggis in Scotland, but I got a better one.
All right.
Back in my dance clubbing days in the early 90s in Portland, on the dance floor by myself, me and my buddy had gone out for drinks, and I was just, half buzzed and having a good dance by myself. And this woman, a very attractive woman, comes up, dances with me, and then she would wander away, just kind of play in the dance floor, and she'd come back and dance with me a bit more and then wander away. And next thing I know, we're making out. We're kissing on the dance floor. Cool. All of a sudden, things just got a lot cooler. And then I hear, "That's his wife. That's my wife. That's his wife." Like 5 guys come storming into the dance floor. And, guy grabs me by the throat, starts taking swings. He couldn't hit me. I kicked him in the stomach. Anyway, security gets into it. So now there's like 6 or 7 guys on this tiny dance floor. And I wind up on the ground on my face, on my stomach, with a security guard with his arm, my arm back behind my back. And there just wasn't enough security to keep these 5 guys out of it. My buddy was there trying to help out. And while I'm on the ground, guy bit me in the face.
It bit you on the face?
One of the guys?
Yeah, because he had his arms behind his back as well. And we were kind of face-to-face-ish. And somehow he got a hold of my cheek. Didn't break skin, nothing like that. But
what was it, John Elway? How close was he that he could bite your? Well, I guess close enough to bite your face. Damn, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, one security guard got him from the back, and one security got me from the back, and we went down on the ground. They pushed us both down onto the ground, maybe onto the knees or whatever, and then flat onto the ground, and we wound up face to face, pretty much, with security on our backs, And like I said, my buddy was trying to get, guys off. He was fighting one of them and security, but there was too many of them. And this guy, I got stomped on. I ended up with a Nike shoe print on my chest in the morning, on my shoulder. And the guy bit me on the side of the face, but didn't break skin, nothing like that. No shot.
How in the hell are you supposed to know that this woman is married if she's out there on the dance floor dancing with you and then lays one on you?
Right.
How are you supposed to know that?
I don't believe that they may not even have known her. I think this was just a setup. It was a gay club, and back in those early days of Portland in the early mid-90s, there was people coming into gay clubs and setting off bear mace and starting fights just to disrupt and be, whatever.
Oh, so you think those guys were up to that?
Yeah, I don't think that they were married to her, or if they may have known her, or maybe not. It may have just been a random attack.
Or they were all married to her.
Maybe she would not have a reaction like, that's not my husband, or whatever, or she just realized that she was busted and walked away. I can't imagine the scenario.
Never saw her again. Security guards took me and my buddy out the back door, threw the other guys out the front door. I, of course, wanted to go finish this with my buddy was like, dude, there's 5 of them. And I know so.
And they bite.
So that was the end of it.
Right. As soon as you know somebody bites, man, you know they're nuts and you're out.
But again, I go back, I brought this up, last week. It was advice from a dude in Baltimore, just like, yo, man, listen, if you think someone's about to jump you, your best bet's just act crazy. Because if dudes think if they think that you're gonna bite them, they ain't gonna mess with you. I was like, that's solid advice.
Unless you feel like you're life and death, I cannot see
life and death,
where you,
sure.
you bite somebody.
Or you're 3.
That's not that crazy for a nightclub. I've had that happen to me. I was in Vegas at a very well-known nightclub. We were staying in that hotel so we could get in there.
Yeah.
But same thing. This woman was an absolute 10, like Vegas 10. And she kept coming over trying to dance with me. I just kept playing my buddies. Something's not right here. Like, that woman is not picking me out of 500 to 1,000 people in this club to dance with.
What do you think was going on?
I could tell you. I was in there having fun and ran into, I know they were Brazilian because it was what was it? Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And they were like, oh, well, you party like you're American? I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, you party like this? It's like, hell yeah. And they were like, we'll go buy you drinks. I said, no. I pay for my own drinks. I didn't think about it. They took that as an insult.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then that woman kept coming over, and then they had a private suite in this club up top, and we're throwing coins at us. I looked at my buddy. I was like, let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
This is going to end bad. And it's already 3 a.m.
Right.
What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, you got to be careful of the woman out of nowhere at a nightclub. She's not with her friends. She's just single. All of a sudden, she's all over you on the dance floor. I'm always like,
she's probably telling a story now, there was this cute little pudgy guy. I just thought he was so hot. He's exactly my type. He would not dance with me.
Oh, no. I saw her go after like the third
couple
time.
other guys.
No. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not getting my ass beat.
By the way, we were talking about animals to ride. First of all, Miles, you said a camel because they don't buck. Someone here says camels do buck. They're all over the place when we invaded Iraq back in 2003.
Well, that's a bad.
Someone else,
that's a bad call on my end then.
Yeah, someone else said, "Oh God, I got to find it." Basically, he said, "Okay, I've been on a camel. They spit and bite and have spiders on them."
Oh, okay. Forget that, man. That's a no. No, I'm out.
No,
bad pick.
And then someone else point, "What about an ostrich? Would you ride an ostrich?"
Yeah.
I would ride an ostrich.
Like
really?
Joust?
Yeah.
You wouldn't ride? Why not? Why wouldn't you ride?
Because they're fast and crazy.
Aren't they mean to?
I mean, but I'm on his back. What's he gonna do, man?
He can turn around. He can rotate his whole face and his neck and smack you right in the face with his mouth.
If you haven't trained him.
You got. I mean, they can almost go. They can go past 180.
Really?
With their neck, yeah. They can turn all the way around, scratch their back with their beak.
And now, if you ride an ostrich, I've seen people riding ostriches. I mean, online and all that. Do you hold it by the neck? I mean, are the reins? What?
That's where I'd hold it.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I mean,
like a joystick in a plane, man.
Clear that.
Look, I don't agree with. I don't know that you should be riding elephants. I'm just saying. I'm taking the elephant in this case. We also sound like just a bunch of peas. We're scared of horses.
Well, I've ridden a horse, and frankly, camels have spiders on them, which I assume would be the camel spider.
Yeah,
we've seen a camel spider.
Yep.
There's no chance. No chance. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Hey, fellas, back when I lived in Texas 10, 15 years ago, I had a 6.5 foot Colombian red-tailed boa. And I had snakes for a while, and whenever they're going to shed their skin, they get in what's called the blue, meaning their eyes are glossed over a little bit. So I'm in my den. The wife's in the kitchen. We have a little cutout. I'm talking to her. And I have a little tiny beard, or what my wife would have called the taco tickler. And it's about 5 or 6 inches long. And I have it in a little ponytail band or whatever. And I'm not paying attention to the snake that I'm holding. I'm paying attention to my wife in the other room, which was my mistake. And that sucker came up and it hit me in my beard a couple of times just trying to crawl up. And the snake couldn't see what it was, and so it immediately attacked. And the only thing there was my throat. So the very first time I was bitten by a snake, it was 6.5 feet long, and it hit me right in the jugular.
What is the type of snake again? Red what?
Colombian red boa?
Yeah, Colombian red-tailed boa. That means about the 6 or 8 inches of their tail is like blood red.
And how long is this thing attached to your jugular?
It was super brief. I mean, it took me a second to realize that he had struck me. And one thing I learned from that I had read about but never really looked inside their mouth, they have 2 rows of teeth on the top and the bottom. So it looked like I had 2 rows of bite marks on the left and 1 row of bite marks on the right because he didn't get me with both of them on the top.
Is that the only time? Is that the only time the snake ever bit you?
No, that was just the first time. I might have made a mistake or two feeding that sucker, and he got me one more time.
Okay. Well, do you think that's why he hit you? Was it more of the tickler, or was it just the fact that he was hungry?
Oh, it was definitely the taco tickler because I fed him on a regular basis, and it was just he couldn't see. So
well,
it was just a bad situation.
With my roommate's boa, he would always he could handle the boa. But like if you were going to put the boa on your lap and watch television or whatever, you could only do it like the first 2 days after the feeding. Because after that, he just didn't feel comfortable knowing, because it was a younger
because he's hungry.
But I mean, other than that, once that thing got fed, man, it was docile as hell. Sure. You could stick him on your lap. He'd just sit there and watch television with you, roll around on the couch. But if you got within a 2-day, 3-day window when they should be fed, he preferred that you didn't, mess with the snake.
I understand that.
I was like, no problem, brother. What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Northwest Handling Systems is hiring now. Recognized for their industry-leading products, they're hiring field service technicians for equipment troubleshooting, diagnosis, and repair. Entry-level technicians start at $27 an hour with full benefits, plus a $2,000 sign-on bonus. A leading distributor of material handling equipment for over 50 years, serving Alaska, Washington, and Oregon. Apply today at nwhs.com/careers. Northwest Handling Systems, an equal opportunity employer.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
We're going to Cambridge, Massachusetts. A pair of pesky turkeys bit an 80-year-old woman in Cambridge. She fled through a break in traffic to escape them. All that was going through my head was, do I try to cross the street? Can I avoid the traffic? According to Jeanette Atkinson, I didn't think I could run faster than the turkeys, or I was afraid I would trip on the sidewalk. Atkinson was walking down Spark Street when she spotted the gobbling duo. The two turkeys came from behind a car and stood on either side of her. They trailed her until she swung her purse at them. This happened 6 or 7 times before one of the turkeys bit her thigh. I looked down, and when I saw blood cutting through my slacks, I said, whoops, they really got me.
She said slacks.
Slacks.
I'll be damned.
She's in Massachusetts. Our question, what did you bite into or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Troy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, years ago, I was on a date with this gal, and anyway, we went to have dinner, and I said, well, let's go have a cold brew. So we stopped at a local tavern, and we'd sucked down a couple of barley pops, and I seen this, the old peanut machines, you know, where you put a quarter in it, you slide back and forth, and you get a little handful of peanuts.
Sure.
So, yeah, so I go up to the barmaid, and I ask for some change, and I go over there and I rack in a couple of quarters, and I get a good handful of peanuts, and so I hand her some peanuts, and she pops in her mouth, and I pop a handful in my mouth, and I'm tasting them like, tastes awful bitter and kind of, you know, like super stale. And I'm like, what the heck? And all of a sudden I could kind of feel something in my hand with the peanuts, and I look down, and it's full of these little maggots. Oh yeah. So I go up to my girl that I'm going on a date with, and I look her, and she's looking in my eyes, and I put my hand out in front of her mouth. I go, don't look, just spit it out. And I mean, she knew, because she didn't even hesitate for a half a second, and she just spit it all over the front of me and my hand. You name it. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
how did the rest of the date go after that?
Well, I don't know. It kind of ended after that, because I'm like, so I go up and I tell the barmaid, I'm going, hey, your machine's full of maggots. And I even take her back there, and you look in the glass. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, I guess, but there's like all these webs and weird crap in the just full of little, tiny little maggots. I said, can I get a beer to at least wash this down? She wouldn't give us anything. I said, that's it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
You can't get a free beer after a handful of maggots.
Come on.
Now, let me ask you this. Has this ruined you on peanuts?
I certainly look before I put them in my mouth.
I didn't know that you had to worry about maggots and peanuts.
God, man. Like, that would ruin me on peanuts. And even going to the baseball game, want some peanuts, like,
well, when you have a jar of peanuts at home, you have a lid on it, or some type of seal, typically. So, but I can understand it being in a vending gumball type machine.
How long do you think those peanuts had been in that machine?
Too long.
God almighty.
Too long. Or maybe just happened in the last few days, but either way, it doesn't take maggots long. All you need is one fly in there, or whatever.
You got a jar of peanuts, Miles?
What's that?
You got a jar of peanuts?
At home, no. I can't keep it in the house.
All right.
I don't know why you buy groceries, though. You buy groceries, hopefully, to not keep it in the house.
Well, I
just like the idea of Miles sitting around with a fancy glass jar, like, we'll have a peanut.
Yeah, well,
a single one.
Planters are now plastic, but they used to be.
Are they plastic now?
Nah, they're
Come
plastic
on, man.
now.
By the way, we were talking earlier about riding animals.
Oh, yeah.
And we brought up the camel, and then somebody said, look, man, they're nasty, they spit, they'll buck you, and they're covered in spiders. Then we brought up the camel spider. First of all, yes, we know the camel spiders are very large. Someone said, look it up. We saw one. We had friends that were in a band back in Baltimore. They were part of a USO tour. They played for the troops in either Iraq or Afghanistan. But they came back, and they brought us back a camel spider that was in a jar. Mm-hmm. And just looking at a dead camel spider in the size, I'm like, no. So someone points out, it says, oh, the bitches, fun fact, camel spiders can run up to 25 miles an hour and scream while they run.
Damn.
Huh. It's a monster. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that band that played in Afghanistan, do you remember their name?
They came onto our show probably 9 times.
The Afghan Wigs.
Yes.
No, nothing.
I cannot remember their name.
I can't either. What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Were they the ones named after a jet?
No, that was SR-71. This
All right.
was not those guys. Because I thought SR-71 sucked. And these guys I did not think sucked.
People liked them. For some whatever
I know.
people liked them.
I just didn't.
I didn't get that either.
And as far as odd things that have bitten you or things you've been into, somebody says, "All the bitches, while going through jungle training, we captured and ate fruit bats or a flying fox. And they were delicious."
I thought we all agreed we're not eating bats.
Well, I mean, not then. Not then. Not
Yeah,
then.
He was pre that.
Yeah, yeah.
He had them clean fruit bats. Hello, Richard. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, yeah. Doing well, man.
So, I had moved over to a buddy of mine's place over in Hawaii, and been there for probably about 2 months or so, and got to just enjoying the culture and all that. And went over there to party pretty much, but we were running down this trail, and there was these guava trees up above. And I was like, man, they smell great, and I know guavas are good. So I hollered at my buddy who was running ahead of me and said, hey, can I grab these off the tree and eat them? And he was like, yeah, dude, go for it. So I reach up, grab one, and I'm running down there, and I just take a bite, and I happen to look down into my hand, and it's just swimming with maggots.
Another maggot-infested food.
I know. I was just... And I remember just brake checking, and I'm like looking down, and he said, oh, hey, but make sure they're not too soft because they're full of maggots if they're soft.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude. So I just ended up spitting it out, and I passed him going down, and I jumped into the water, and I just took a big mouthful of salt water because I'm like, anything's better than a mouthful of maggots at this point.
I would agree with that.
People gargle with salt water, at least. Just don't swallow it.
Yeah, right.
So
and it's warm, so it wasn't that bad.
Can you eat guava now, or does the maggot thing come back?
I'll drink some juice.
I was going to say, I don't know that I've had guava. I've definitely had guava juice.
Ted and I were talking about this. It was what? Last week it was peaches,
right?
And apricots.
Apricots, right?
You're right, guava.
It's kind of the same thing.
I feel like the only one I might get close on is mango.
Mango's great. I know I've had mango, but I'm not sure that I've had guava. I might have. I just didn't know. But
it was like all these fruits were like, oh, we like the juice. We don't want the fruit. Ever.
And mango is good. I've had it, but generally it's like in a flavor of a juice. I don't know that I've ever personally just bought a mango.
My wife had one yesterday and made a mango chutney.
Well, I was going to say mango chutney's delicious.
It was so good, man. It was really, really, really good.
What did you bite into, or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Fish taco?
Close. We did Parmesan encrusted halibut on the flat top outside.
Nice.
With the mango. And I even asked her this morning, I'm like, hey, because she bought a juicer for herself for Christmas, and she's been pretty good using it, right? So I'm like, ooh, do you have any mango left? No. I don't. I'm like, son of a bitch. One of the text here, and let this be a lesson to any parent out there. It says, when my daughter was about 4 or 5, she told me to close my eyes and open my mouth for a big surprise. As they had, not sure why I listened, but I was definitely surprised. Find a booger in my mouth.
Thanks. Yeah, some people eat those voluntarily.
God almighty.
But they're normally their own.
Not other people's.
Hey, man, let me try one of your bugs. Mine are kind of salty.
Hey, my booger. Let me eat one of your boogers. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Fellas, I love you guys to death all the way to the stars and the moon. Just saying that.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So just back in, probably we'll say about like January, I got a new girlfriend, and I'm like, dating her, going out for coffee, that sort of thing. And, she tells me, she has dogs, she's got this, she's got that, and the other, 7 kids, 5 dogs, 4 cats in her house.
Are they all hers?
This woman better have been gorgeous.
She was decent. She was okay. Probably more like the Cleveland Browns, like great uniform, terrible helmet type situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go over there, and first time I step into her house, and she got 5 dogs. That's apparent. And I step inside. It's a dark house, and the one of them she's got, decent sized dogs, 85, 110 pounds.
Yes, that's a decent size, yes.
yeah. And one of them rips into my back, the 85-pound dog, just like starts tearing apart on me. And I'm like, oh, so I still have the scar on my back. So that's what bit into me in this particular situation.
Did you continue to go to her house and date her?
Yeah, I did go back there. I went back there a few times, probably for a couple of months after that. Mm-hmm. And her dogs, they started to like me afterwards, but I still got the scar on my back from that.
What kind of dog was it? Do you remember?
Black Lab and Pit Bull mix.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. All right. All right. And, and 7 kids and 4 cats.
Yeah. Well, the 4 cats actually stayed outside and ate dog food.
Okay, that's
This sounds like the type of woman that I've wanted to date.
That's a baller. How big was her home?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, to have 7 kids.
That's wild. That's a lot of kids, a lot of animals.
Dogs. Yeah. Sounds like I'm on a hippie farm. What did you bite into or what bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
Speaking of dogs, a text just came in, says, I was engaging in coitus with a woman. Her dog snuck into the room and was behind us. And you know how dogs like bees? Well, he took a big chomp that was the worst mood killer ever. The dog bit him in the testicle.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Oh. That is not
Awful.
okay.
Man, that's some low-hanging fruit.
It was hot. Or he's old. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Great. So I got a little story about when I was pretty young. I was 11 or 12. And me and my dad went out fishing. We were in Southeast Alaska. And we were, anchored someplace and on the other side of Douglas Island. And we were, just strip fishing. And then I'd pull on my line and start pulling up. It felt like the bottom of the ocean. And it was about 4 hours later when we finally saw the biggest halibut I've ever seen on a sport line. It was about 235 pounds. It was 4 feet 11 inches long.
Damn.
And we were dragging it up on sport tackle. And when we got it up over the edge of the boat, it took a chunk out of my finger. And she's about 1 inch long.
Damn. I hope you ate that bad boy for eating you.
We ate for years.
I was going to say that is a big ass halibut.
Yeah, it was tasty.
Was it bigger than you at the time? You said it was 4 feet long.
Oh, yes. It was 4 feet 11, almost 5 feet long, and it was way heavier than me. And I got the cheeks. So that was the best part of the halibut.
Yeah, you should have encrusted it in a delicious Parmesan and used a mango chutney.
Mango chutney,
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
Tell him, man, that's a good meal.
I can't imagine. That's a dinosaur at that point.
Right. And then the octopus beaks that were in the stomach were saved, and a friend of my dad made it into a commemorative bracelet for me.
What did you...
Octopus beaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, because halibut eat octopus.
So what is the beak of an octopus?
The actual beak.
It's the only hard part on the octopus. It looks like a little black, like an eggshell, like a parrot beak, but thin.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what that is.
Yeah, well, they use it to defend themselves.
All right.
So you can grab food and all that kind of thing. But it's, remember like Jurassic Park, that big-ass like toenail thing on the raptor?
Okay.
Right? It's kind of that. So it can help shred things and do all that.
And it's literally just its mouth. And it's the one thing that the octopus has to be able to... You hear about how octopus can fit into basically any size hole as long as their beak fits.
Oh, really?
The only thing that's not malleable on that animal is.
I'll be damned.
Also sounds like a fun insult.
Octopus.
Okay, so that's
octopus.
how
You only got one hard thing on you.
That's basically how they eat.
And it's a beak.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the octopus beak.
Interesting.
I mean, it's probably how they crush up shellfish.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was looking at it now. It looks fascinating.
It does. It looks like a beak. What did you bite into? What bit into you? 206-803-ROCK.
It doesn't make that sound.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it's weird, octopus.
Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the men's room.
That's how they wake up all the
Hola.
Morning time. I can hear the octopus.
So I was like 13 or 14 at the time, and got bit by the neighborhood pit bull mutt. So scenario is I'm at my buddy's house, smoking some pot. I was like 13 or 14 at the time, and time to go home. And I'm like, I can't go home yet. You know, my parents don't want my parents to know I'm high. So I'm going to circle the block a couple times and just, kill some time. And as I'm going down this alley, I see like a kid, like a 5-year-old kid, 6, playing with this dog, and I'm like, I think nothing of it. Keep walking down this alley. As I get closer, I'm like, 25 feet away. This dog sees me and just comes at me. He's just smelling me. I'm like nervous. I'm like, shoo, dog, go. And it would not go away. I'm just still walking, and I told shoo one more time with my heel, and I clip his mouth. And that was a mistake because it just latches right onto my leg, I scream, ow, and now I just, pull my leg out of his mouth. Luckily, it didn't get, a full bite, but it scratched my leg. And I just book it down the street. This dog is chasing me. There's a van, parked, luckily, half a block away. And I jump on top of this van, and I'm just kicking at this dog, trying to, climb the van. I'm kicking at it. I look up at the kid, and he's just in awe, right? He's like, oh, my God. I'm like, kid, go get your mom, And so okay. So he leaves, right? And so he's going to his house. I'm still kicking this dog, not letting it get on the van, and the door shuts. And when he hears the door shut to the house, he stops and looks at the house. And I can see he thinks he's an adult or something, because he just books it. He leaves. And the mom comes out, and I'm just I hop off I actually stay on the van for a little bit longer until she gets close. Then I hop down, and I'm limping, I'm bleeding. She's like, oh, my God, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Just let me go home, because I got weed in my pocket. It's illegal at the time. So I just want to go home. And she's like, are you fine? Are you sure? I'm like, no, yeah, I'm good. And so I just limp away, And that was a scary moment there.
Yeah, you don't want a dog chasing you, man.
No, you don't. There's so much faster.
That is the worst feeling in the world.
When I got my very first dog when I was in middle school or something like that, as she was growing up, I realized that there is very little that is more powerful than a puppy bite. I was playing with her. She had this toy. I don't remember what it was, but I was kind of playing tug of war with her for a little bit, and I tried to pull it away, and she did that thing where she tries to get more of it in her mouth, so she jumps forward, and she came down on my thumb so doggone hard. She split the doggone thing in half.
Damn. My dog, probably once a week that happens with the dog, right? Because I'm sitting on the sofa doing whatever, and then so there's something in her mouth. She wants to play tug of war. And it's funny. I can watch an entire show, all right, 30-minute sitcom, and the dog is sitting maybe 6 inches away from me, staring at me with a rope in her mouth. But she would not go away or stop staring at me until we played tug of war. So if I look at her, she does that thing where dogs do. They kind of turn their head. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Dude, but I can just feel her breathing on it. But I will watch an entire show or wait till commercial break, then play tug of war. So we'll do tug of war, but same thing. She jumps forward trying to get more of the rope. And as soon as I go ow! As soon as I do that, man, sits down. I'm like, you're not in trouble, man. I understand what's happening here. Just watch the freaking teeth. And you're not the first bitch I've told it.
Yeah. Who sucks less? On the way along with your emails from our question, what did you bite into or what bit into you? That's coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
They called him the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he really was for decades.
He extended his tentacles like an octopus throughout the entire entertainment industry.
Mr. Lou Wasserman.
This is Glitter and Might, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series written and narrated by me, Sean Levy. All episodes are available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Explore trails less traveled, just northeast of Vancouver, with a cruise along the North Clark County Scenic Drive. Stop by the Cedar Creek Grist Mill or the Ridgefield National Wildlife Refuge, and be sure to see Molten Falls. Fun for the whole family. Soak in the final weeks of summer outdoors and explore Vancouver, Washington. Close to everything, but far from typical. Enjoy all that summer in Vancouver has to offer. For more attractions and adventure ideas, check out visitvancouverwa.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All right, Who Sucks Less coming up here in minutes, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Jump right to the birthdays, guys. Can we get a birthday shout out for our son Jordan? He is 8 years old today. How about Coach Ted coaching him up on his first year of flag football in the fall? Maybe a Leroy Jenkins and a kidfish sandwich. Thanks, guys. Love the show. That from Ronnie and from Sarah.
Fish challenge.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
All right, Jordan. First of all, I like you playing flag football today. No reason to be hitting yet. Second of all, flag football is a little bit different of a sport, but you're going to learn one thing: route running. You look at some of the best wide receivers in the league. They're not the fastest. They're not the biggest. They're not giant athletes like Randy Moss. What they are is good route runners. Unless you're playing quarterback, then chuck that thing.
Yeah, you got about, 5 seconds? What is flag football on being able to go after the quarterback? Or is that different in the league? So, what I'm saying is, he's right. You got to run a quick route. Yeah. Because the ball's got to get out of the quarterback's hand pretty fast. Unless it's a scrambling play, then like anything else, like Russell Wilson, you just break free and throw it down the field.
This isn't the body of a man that ever played 7-on-7.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could just never grab the flag. I could square up on someone. They make a juke like it. I can go to grab it. I'm right there, and I miss the damn thing.
Then you weren't right there.
I'd rather play two-hand touch, I think.
No, I feel like people get more injured playing two-hand touch.
Correct.
Almost
Do they?
tackle. Seriously, I feel like as an adult, when you play tackle football, no one got injured. You might get hurt a little bit, but, people are tackling you from behind or they blow you up directly from the front. But somehow with two-hand touch, I don't know why, they're now diving at you. Like with tackle, no one's diving at you, it seems like. Mm-hmm. But two-hand touch, and people are flying through I'm telling you, man, but when you push them after you dive, you realize, God, we were like, we need to just switch to tackle. It's just, it's safer.
And some of the belts only have two flags on each side. When we played in school,
you had one, right?
Back there, no, they had three. So
Yeah,
one in the back, one in the back,
I
and
think
two on the
flag
sides.
football, the organized way, is still two flags on the side.
Okay. Not one in the back. Okay.
Not one on the back. But I will say, I think flag football is great. I have a cousin, he loves football, but his oldest, it's right, you can play 1 year of tackle, next year we're playing flag.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just to kind of save, you know what I mean? There's no reason to put, I'm of the theory nowadays, you don't have to put a helmet on until you get to high school.
No, and I played football with guys who played Pop Warner with me since third grade, and they were the guys that won all the marks on their helmets.
Yeah.
They drool now. Mm-hmm. I'm not making that up. Seriously, there's issues. They're
and
slow.
same for the big boys, right? You can do lineman drills and this and that, run hills, lifted stuff. You don't have to be hitting at 10 years old.
No, you can hit a sled, but just don't hit a head. Guys, today's my son's 18th.
That's right.
Yeah. Today's my son's 18th birthday. A.A. Ron will be leaving for school this fall to Wisconsin. All a dad can do is say good luck and have some fun. I think he'll have fun in Wisconsin. You had a good time there.
We went to Milwaukee. University of Wisconsin is a great place to see a football game, I've heard.
So in honor of his 18th, going to get a shout-out with Steve's Shotgun Gets. Maybe a blast or two, followed by the old Kirk Cousins. You like that. Bless you. Thank you, gentlemen. That from John.
Get. You like that? You like that?
Get. Isaiah turns 22 today. You are the best co-worker, and your AC installs are impeccable and top-notch. Thanks for all the hard work. Give him a Mike Hawk special on the soundboard, whatever he wants. Thanks, guys. That from Aaron and from Brian.
Uh-oh, look out.
Aloha, Bicholas. Today's my friend Sam's 23rd trip around the big burning ball of gas. Can she get a backwards fart? Some thrill gets, and you guys talking all over each other about running marathons. Thanks, guys. That from Will at the summit of Heileaikalea. He's in Hawaii.
He's in Hawaii.
He's in Hawaii, yes.
Smell it.
First thing I'd recommend about running a marathon, tape your nipples up.
Never thought about
Probably
it.
with duct tape.
Don't do it.
Whatever you do,
I think it's a great
Why
accomplishment
would you
for
do
people.
that? That's
Maybe
the
you
dumbest
ask them.
idea I've
I'd buy a
ever
pair of
freaking heard.
hookers.
I want
Walk
to
a
punch a
marathon?
wolf in the
Don't
face.
try
for
that.
God's
That'll
sake.
probably
Just
take me
remember
a week to
don't
walk.
eat a Big
I'll
Mac or
perform.
like a breakfast sandwich before you do it. Heileakula. Heileakula?
No, I think you nailed it.
Heileakula.
Heileakua.
Heileakula.
Let me see.
Kula.
Haleakula, yeah.
Haleakula. Okay.
Well, that's what he said. Anyway.
Yeah. Today's my son Taylor's 29th birthday. He's a great guy that keeps accomplishing a lot in his life, including getting himself engaged. Can I get a big old bong rip and a what the F is that, bro? That from his mom, Monica.
Oh my God! What the f*** is that, bro?
Guys, today's my beautiful girlfriend Christy's 50th birthday. Help us celebrate by giving her a beaver fart, an explosion, and the captain talking about how to celebrate his 50th birthday in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida. Thanks, guys, and keep on rocking. That's indeed.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. First of all, it's odd that you're going to Florida for your 50th birthday. That's where the old Capitan himself spent his 50th birthday. Had some quality time with the old Land O'Lakes lady. You know, the one who's always kneeling on the box. There's a reason that she's kneeling. She got me to do a little nude sunbathing, which kind of ruined the entire experience. She ended up with sunburn on her nipples, and I got sunburned on my beef missile. My blood sword. You know what I'm talking about, Miles? I got a sunburn on my crotch cobra. My foaming beef probe. I got a sunburn on my chowder dumper. Crunch berries.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefly.
Thank you, Mom. A couple extra emails here. Costly mistakes from yesterday. Bichola's in college. I was walking into my roommate's bedroom to hang out when I stumbled a little, tripped on a table leg, and fell in between his couch and his dresser, perfectly onto his very nice electric guitar.
Oh.
The house was nice and quiet for a little while with the guitar snapped in half, but I ended up paying him a little over $1,000 to replace that guitar. Keep on rocking. That from B-Dub. Another expensive
fall,
repair.
brother.
Damn. Guys, I own an aircraft detailing company in Seattle. We service about 70 jets in Washington State. 25 years ago, when we were just getting up and running, my wife and I were detailing an aircraft together. So when I finished, I went to the men's room to use the bathroom in this particular hangar. Everyone knew to double flush the urinal. If not, it would not all go down. So when I finished, I flushed, zipped up, flushed again. At that very moment, the entire building began to rumble like a tornado was coming through. I looked into the hangar and couldn't see even any of the airplanes. The fire suppressant had gone off. Hundreds of gallons of water, a minute, pouring down on the aircraft. I'm thinking the double flush somehow set it off, and my career is over. I called the airport 911, told them what happened. After a while, fire and rescue showed up, turned everything off. Come to find out, some guy lit up a cigarette in a bathroom in the main terminal and caused the fire suppressant system to ready. It sent a spike of water to my hangar and blew all the fail-safes. All the aircraft doors and nose cone doors were open. This caused over $3 million in damage to the interiors and navigational systems. I was just happy, guys, that it wasn't my fault. Best radio show ever, guys. That from Mark. And a couple more. As far as dog stories, Hola Bacholas, my dog Mac has this strange habit when he goes to the bathroom, particularly when he's dropping a deuce. At first, he looks like he's lifting his leg to pee on a tree branch or a bush.
Okay.
Then he just kind of awkwardly hovers on one leg over said bush or branch, then drops a heater. It looks like he's making his own little poop Christmas trees everywhere. That from Greg, the island cop.
That is weird.
I have seen dogs that do the one leg up poop.
To poop?
Yeah. I mean, not mine, just on dog walks. I've seen dogs do that.
That's so strange.
That is weird.
Like, I do a handstand when I poop. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
And one more.
Everybody's got their little ticks. I take off my shirt.
Yeah.
But you're still sitting on a toilet. Like, that's the part we all
I'm a stand-up wiper.
I'm a stand-up wiper.
I'm a stand-up wiper.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was unusual, but apparently not.
No, a lot of people wipe sitting down.
I think it's 50-50. Some people are sitters, some people are standers.
there's moments where I've had to sit down to wipe, typically on an airplane or something like that. I mean, I cannot physically stand up and do it, but to me, hey, stand up and wipe.
This is one of the worst places, by the way, ever to play an away game if you got to use the bathroom.
This building?
Yes. So if you're going to go to the bathroom, there's a sensor on there that will flush the toilet. Yes, you can manually do it, but it's not the same. It just kind of does it like it just shoots,
like a push button kind of.
Yeah, it shoots water. But either way, typically when you're done, it will flush, or when the door opens and closes, it's got a sensor on it, it will flush. Now, when I use the bathroom, for some reason, right in the middle, when I'm done doing my business or whatever the deal is, the toilet will flush
before you wipe your ass. Yeah, which is
also weird. It denies me the opportunity to see what just happened.
Yeah, you always want to inspect.
I need to look down there and see what just happened there, so I can understand. You
do get a general sense of your well-being, right? If it just looks normal, which is 99% of the time, you don't give it a second thought. When things look off about your own poop,
I just need to see what's going on. That's all.
My problem is because I'm a stand-up wiper. One of the sensors is when you're no longer sitting down.
That's exactly.
So I stand up to wipe my ass, and I'm like,
then
I'm wasting water. Like you can't just wait 15 seconds, man.
Do you ever spin?
Spin? What do you mean?
I don't know. Sometimes when I'm wiping, for whatever reason, I'll turn around and look at the toilet.
You know what? I don't.
All right.
That's a weird one. No, look, I stand up. I kind of glance back at the toilet, check my handiwork.
Maybe that's what it is. I'm trying to get a look, and then before I realize it, I'm like spun around.
You've done a complete 180.
Yeah.
Okay, you just can't be still, can you?
Podcast listener, catching up, guys. Thought I would share my bathroom story. My husband had been having some bathroom issues, a C. diff infection. So I went into the bathroom after he had left. There was blood smeared on the handle and seat. And I freaked out because my husband, well, pretty sure he had a bloody stool. After closer examination, the blood turned out to be flaming hot Cheeto dust. So apparently he was eating Cheetos
I don't know what's worse
on
though.
the toilet. That from the exasperated wife. All right, coming up, we'll drink and tell us with a shot of the day. But first,
now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less.
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck. It is up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Before we get to Who Sucks Less, I just want to throw this out there. A text just came in. Says, I thought I was a weirdo for standing up to wipe. Had no idea. It was like 50-50. We're glad we could put your mind at ease.
Yeah.
Glad we could do it. All right.
The main thing is just front to back.
Yes. Definitely front to back. Keep my nads clean.
Yeah.
Poop free. You got poop free nads, baby. Hop into bed. All right, so today we have our 3 stories as always, and I will title the first one, Entitlement. The second one, Entitlement. The third one, Come on, man. So let's start with entitlement number 1. A teacher in Italy. She was fired for 20 years of absence in her 24 years at a school near Venice. But she's vowed to tell her side of the story. This particular teacher, she was initially fired back in 2017 after she reappeared for 4 months and triggered complaints. But Italy's highest courts, they confirmed the dismissal after a legal battle, saying her absences showed a, quote, permanent and absolute ineptitude. The teacher, who specializes in history and philosophy, said she had documents to prove her story when she was reached by a newspaper, but she wasn't going to talk about it then because, quote, sorry, but right now I'm at the beach. Anyway, she was reinstated in 2018 after ruling by a judge, but the education ministry appealed against the decision and it was reversed by the Supreme Court last week. So the ministry argued that the teacher had kept out of the classroom for 20 out of her 24 years of service. For the first 10 years, she was completely absent. And her absences in the other 14 years were attributed to sickness, personal, or family reasons. And the court heard that in a 4-month period back in 2015, when she did teach, the students complained for her lack of preparedness, her failure to bring textbooks, and her, quote, random and improvised ways of teaching. The inspection found that she was unprepared and inattentive, and students refused to take part in the class because she would be distracted by her phone. Anyway, her defense of freedom of teaching was rejected by the court and argued it is, in fact, the teacher's responsibility to guarantee the student's right to study. Anyway, she now described herself as a freelance journalist and told her that she's going to give her side of the story. So again, she's been a teacher for 24 years. She missed 20 years of 24 years, including the first decade she never showed up. I don't know how things work in Italy. I don't know how she kept her job that long. Amazing. But that's the story. But she's bitching about it. She's saying it's wrongful. Now we go to China. A little different. But this man was fired by his employer for spending too much time on the toilet during work hours. The man took bathroom breaks between 47 minutes and 6 hours long. Now, the Chinese news media recently reported the case of an employee surnamed Wang who sued his employer for wrongful termination after being fired for spending too much time on the toilet during work hours. After undergoing a surgery for an anorectal issue, the man continued experiencing pain and discomfort, so he started spending 3 to 6 hours in the toilet every day. His former employee claims that during a period of 10 days, he took a total of 22 bathroom breaks, which lasted, like we said, between 47 minutes and 6 hours, citing provisions in a staff handbook relating to tardiness or leaving work early and authorized absences. The unnamed company terminated his employment. Now, he did suffer through a surgery back in December of 2014, and his employer claims that he started taking the unusually long bathroom breaks after returning to work the following July, spending several hours on the office toilet. And after having Wang monitored between September 7th and September 17th, 10-day period, he took at least 3 long bathroom breaks per day, and the company finally said, look, we're done with this. Anyway, this guy, he's now suing because he thinks he should have his job back, in spite of spending 6 hours on it.
All right.
And finally, come on, FedEx, what are you doing? So here's the thing. FedEx, we recognize the FedEx trucks, okay? Well, one of the things they do when they get to a certain point, they will sell those trucks to, like, food trucks, et cetera, et cetera. Well, a new lawsuit accuses FedEx of rolling back the odometers on thousands of their old delivery trucks and then selling them for more than they were worth. So they used to scrap their trucks when they hit 350,000 miles. But the lawsuit says that around 12 years ago, they created a new revenue stream and started selling them. So they send them to auctions, people would buy them, turn them into things like food trucks, but they're accused of subtracting a ton of mileage first. So a commercial truck dealer in Nevada says he found out about it after he sold an old FedEx truck in 2017. The odometer said 180,000 miles, but when the seller hooked it up to a computer, it had over 400,000 miles on it. So a bunch of food truck owners are now suing FedEx and a company they work for called Holman Automotive. And if what they're being accused of is true, it could be the largest odometer fraud scheme in U.S. history.
Damn.
That's something, because FedEx is hurting for money.
Ted, I'm going to say this is an easy one for me this week. I'm not sure about you, but I'll roll it out for you real quick here.
Hit me.
Okay, so as far as a teacher in Italy, again, back to what Steve said, I don't know what the rules are, what their employment deal is, but that is, look, if you're going to let that go on for 24 years, I'm sorry, man, that's on you. Because you're the employer who's handling an employee, and if that's how you choose to handle your employee, obviously they knew that they'd get away with it. They took advantage of the system.
Right. She didn't show up for the first decade.
So the guy in China, he took advantage of the system based on the fact that he was in the bathroom between 47 minutes and 6 hours a day.
6 hours, yeah.
Now, as far as FedEx is concerned, if this was an internal thing within the company, that would be one thing. But the fact that they are selling these trucks to consumers who are regular Joes, who are buying these trucks for their businesses or whatever, to me, that one sucks the most because you're doing something illegal based on the falsification of what you're selling.
Correct.
So that one's the worst based on the fact you're breaking the law and you're profiting off of people who are not, they're not in the FedEx community.
Correct.
They're just people just buying the vans and the trucks, right? So I'm going to say based on the first 2 stories, teacher in Italy, I'm going to say the guy in China who was using the bathroom breaks, he sucks the least. He got away with it. He was not doing it for 24 years.
Correct.
So based on that length of time, I'm going to say that guy sucks the least.
See, I'm the opposite. I almost think FedEx sucks the least just because it's a giant corporation. Like, it seems about par for the course.
So, like, what do you expect?
Right. Like, it's dirty. Like, I don't know that I would... I know those trucks are run down. I think any of those box trucks that run around all day...
Of course.
They get them in and get them out quickly. But I'm like, it just doesn't shock me. Whereas the other 2, I think, consciously were juking the system. And at least these people will have a lawsuit so they can hopefully get their money back.
I do appreciate that the Italian teacher, when the newspaper reached out to her, she's like,
I'd
love to talk. I'm at the beach right now. It's like, man,
that is wild. She just didn't show up for the first 10 years and still has a job.
Not a day for a decade.
The debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you follow KISW on Twitter. Shout of the Day's coming up. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Curiosity surrounds you at Pacific Science Center's Boeing IMAX Theater with state-of-the-art digital projection and sound. Watch your favorite blockbusters on Washington's largest screen. That's 4,800 square feet of the world's greatest heroes and villains coming at you in 2D and 3D. and you're supporting science education in the process. Check out our upcoming schedule and get your tickets before they're gone at pacsci.org. That's PACSCI.org.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our cut in just a couple minutes. We'll drink and toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All righty. Oregon is ending the 72-year ban on people pumping their own gas.
Well, I thought it was optional there for a while as far as if you wanted to pump your own or not, depending on maybe the service station.
It might have been in certain areas, but now it's statewide. You are now allowed to pay to pump your own gas. It is no longer required.
Well, the gas is the same price, so why not go for the full service?
Right?
They're not making it any cheaper because you do it.
That's true.
That's true. It's just now, if we here in Washington, roll over to Oregon and then accidentally forget that they have to do it,
well, we
don't get yelled at.
It's like a self-checkout. Yeah. It's evolved into that everywhere.
Right. Exactly.
But there it's not. So you still have an employee who gets, a paycheck to do that job.
There you go.
So either way, he's going to get he's getting paid.
He's going to get it.
I think the difference would just be tipping.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've been to Oregon before and I felt bad. It's the dude's pumping my gas. I'm like, I don't have $2 on me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia is asking for the public's help in naming their public restroom.
Why?
Because
stop asking people.
But again, it's Philly. I'll tell you what to call it. The S House. I mean, I know everywhere else goes toilet face or whatever this dumb stuff is. Philly, it's not going to be like that. That's just not the city I would ask
That's not what they
for
do.
the public's help in naming anything.
To squeeze your cheesesteak.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Philly way, man. Even people from Philly, they would not argue this. They'd be like, oh, we're going to come up with the crudest thing.
The bathroom needs a name. Call it Rocky Balboa.
Cheese balls.
Squeeze your cheese.
Garlic knots.
Garlic knots.
Name it after Bond's Golden Eye.
The Whiz Bond.
the Whiz Bond.
Like a cheesesteak with whiz?
Yeah, right, yeah.
The Whiz Bond.
Or just Wit Whiz.
Yeah.
Or the Wit.
The Witten S.
Okay. A new study found the demographic at the highest risk of binge drinking.
Demographic. I'll say.
Football fans.
Binge drinking is different than being retired, so it's not going to be an older demographic.
Because you can just kind of drink all day.
I'll say 25-year-old male and female.
It is women without kids who are 35 years and up.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it. For sure. For sure.
I don't know why. That's just crazy.
Put it on, ladies.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Pickleball injuries will cost Americans between $250 million and $500 million this year.
Well, it's not going to cost Americans. It's going to cost their insurance company.
Well, that's what it means.
Well, look, man.
We're gonna do upwards of $500 million worth of damage to ourselves.
Every sport causes a bunch of injuries, blah, blah, blah. It's pickleball.
Is it because there's an older demographic that are doing it? And
that has a lot
more
to do with
injury?
it.
Look, you can hurt your shoulder, just swinging because you normally don't.
Sure. But also their balance, man. I mean, some of the people I've seen playing pickleball, like Maple Leaf Park, right? They have a couple of pickleball courts, and it's great. It's cool. The people are out there doing it. But I'm like, this dude might have a stroke before he's done with the game.
Also, I think the reward is worth the risk. If you're getting out there and doing that type of activity where more of your body's working than just walking, and there's nothing wrong with walking, but, the risk might be worth it.
Agreed.
Just to get that exercise.
Get out there and move, man.
Just stretch, too.
Yes.
Some people, you know what I mean? If you haven't done something in a while, you just got to stretch. You don't want to blow out a hamstring.
Look, man, French fries are going to cause more damage than pickleball.
Correct.
That's all. It's fine. Fine.
Right. We're good to go, man. You're okay.
They have Colonial life insurance.
Well, while we're on the subject of getting older, nobody in this room is getting any younger. And
that's not true. I was born at 130 years old.
And 3 out of the 4 of us have, we've crossed a certain milestone that some people would say that it's time to give some things up.
3 out of 4 of us. Kiss my ass. Whatever you're about to say, kiss my ass.
Who's the fourth not involved?
Let's find out.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 things to stop doing in your 40s because it's time to grow up. Stop avoiding your doctor You're at the point in your sad existence where you have fewer years ahead of you. So maybe check in. You might have the sugars. Maybe it's time to take selfies of your bunghole. Or you might be a degenerate smoker like I am. And maybe that thing on your wee-wee just isn't going away.
Go see the doctor. So,
what's on his wee-wee?
Yeah, but we have a list, and we're starting with the word wee-wee.
And start with the word wee-wee. For older people,
Yeah.
My wee-wee. Yeah, the sugar singular.
Get in here. Something wrong with my wee-wee.
I just tell him what the list is. He goes. He makes the thing there. So, 3 out of the 4 of us have crossed the threshold of 40. And so now it's time to... I'm going to just see if we're still doing these things in our 40s.
Probably.
Or if we've grown up beyond them. So the first thing that they have there is skipping breakfast. You need to quit skipping breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, becomes less common as we get into the age into our 40s.
I mean, is it? I feel like there's new research coming out that's like, it's not the most important thing.
I've seen that it's not the most important. But here's Monday through Friday, I basically have 2 meals.
Okay.
I eat at some point when I get to work, typically before 11:30, because I hate dealing with the lunch rush.
Sure.
So I'm more of a brunch time eater.
Okay.
And then dinner. And then I'm kind of done. Granted, there might be 4th meal, typically 3rd for me, but that depends on my marijuana usage that particular night.
So I'll still say that you skip breakfast because I know that you're up earlier, a lot earlier than you get in here. You're up at what, 6 a.m., 7 a.m.?
About 7:30. I'm awake around 7:30.
So you're up early enough to where you should be having breakfast.
You know
so
what?
You're skipping breakfast.
I'll tell you what, man. And for about the last 2 months, I've been on a big smoothie kick.
Okay.
So it's not quite breakfast, but I get up, I make a nice fruit smoothie. My son steals half of it. I drink the other half, and on I go.
If I'm going to go lift, I'll eat something beforehand. But other than that, I rarely during the week will eat breakfast.
Miles,
as far as how much I eat,
are you skipping breakfast?
I'm a faster, yes.
Okay.
I mean, so if I eat breakfast, a big breakfast, I probably will not eat after that too much.
Sure. So you either don't eat breakfast or you eat only breakfast.
Well, I eat a bigger breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Listening to loud music. Again, these are things that we all stopped doing in our 40s.
I
because
still listen to loud music.
Yes, you do.
Granted, I'll put on the headphones to do it.
Sure.
But whatever the top volume is generally where it goes.
Ted?
I still listen to loud music at times, but I won't lie. I have gotten to the point where, like, sometimes I'll be in a bar and like, yeah, it's loud in here.
Turn that down.
Yeah, I have gotten to that point.
And I have some friends who are just like, dude, can you turn that down a little bit?
Yeah, I listen to everything loud. Everything. Headphones, stereo, everything loud.
That's just because we can't hear. Chasing popularity.
No, I don't care.
You guys are on a radio show.
That's enough.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're very, very popular.
Indeed. Ignoring routine health checkups.
No.
Sometimes.
No. Absolutely not.
I should go to the dentist more. I'm so scared of the doctor that I was like, you can't skip them.
I did the skin doctor today. I did the schedule for the physical in August.
Skin doctor.
All that stuff today.
Dr. Skin. I'm Dr. Skin.
Yeah, like I have 2 appointments set up and then my physical in like October.
Right. But you have to set that appointment now.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like again, I should go to the dentist more. But like with the doctor, like something just clicked after 40. It's like, well, I don't want to die. Right. So, like, even if they tell you bad news, they're just trying to keep you alive.
Right.
What if the bad news, you're going to die in 3 days?
Go all out.
You wouldn't see me.
I want to go there to ignore their advice.
He gave me pills to take for every day the rest of my life. Why are you so sad? He gave me 3 pills.
Question this morning. Do you floss? I did this morning.
Yeah. I'm pretty good about the flossing. Now that they have those, like, I don't know, handheld flossing thing. I'm all about it, man.
Did you hear the one where the guy was talking to his doctor and he says you don't have very long to live, or he says you only have 5 to live. He says 5? He goes, yeah, 4, 3.
Oh. I will say also, the older you get, like, I don't know about everybody else, but like every time before I go in and see that, I'm convinced I have this or that or blah, blah, blah.
I'm not convinced of anything. I'm just like, give me the bad news. So far, so good.
Yeah.
You know.
Again, these are things that we all stopped doing in our 40s because it was time to grow up. Consuming sugary drinks.
Oh, hell no. I mean, look, I don't drink a lot of soda, right? I don't. Sure. But whatever that thing is I get from Starbucks, still don't know the name of it. They know what it is when I walk in. Like, I love that. And orange soda. I do like orange soda. But I do not drink them with the frequency that I used to. That's for sure.
Miles, they sure do taste good, though, when you have one.
Boy, oh boy, they really do.
Typically, I'll drink Diet or something. Then I'll get a real soda because I realize that probably the NutraSweet or whatever, since Diet is worse than
the sugar.
The actual corn syrup.
You do like those Monster Energy drinks, too, don't you?
I do. I buy them sugar-free, but again, I think the artificial sweeteners from everything I've read is worse than sugar.
Right. Ted?
I mean, I don't drink a ton of soda. Like, sweets just aren't super my thing. I get plenty of calories from other places. But with that said, on Sunday, I thoroughly enjoy a Sprite or like an orange soda. God, Sprite's good. For whatever reason, Sunday's like, soda day.
Yeah, but you guys eat candy.
Not very often.
Okay, good. It's not good for your teeth. That's what she told me this morning.
Yeah.
Do you eat candy? I'm like, no. She's like, it looks like you do.
Then she said that.
Pretty much.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Like, but I don't.
I just drink these energy
She's
drinks.
like, well, go ahead and start.
It's probably the energy drink.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I need the energy.
Living for the weekend. I'm sorry, who's not living for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, until you're retired.
Right.
And I like what we do, but it's still like the weekend. I can
Right.
sleep in, do whatever.
We love Friday just as much as everybody else
Yes,
does.
indeed.
That's my favorite thing about having parents that are retired.
What's that now?
Get a text. What are you doing? I'm at work.
Word.
Do you even know what day it is?
My parents, they forgot what day of the week it was within a week of retiring. My kids have been on summer break 1 week. They have no idea what day. So even this morning.
By the Monday, you said that he was asking what you were doing.
Man, you're up early. I'm like, I got to go to work, man. He's like, oh, is it Monday? I'm like, you just finished school Friday. I mean, like, your entire mindset is already like, it's summer. Right, but same thing this morning. You have to go to work. I'm like, I have my backpack on. I was like, yes, guys. Jesus Christ.
But I remember those days, too. Summer
do, too.
vacation. Woo!
Yeah.
That's like the plane landing, man.
It's
You
just
get your
one
applause.
long day.
All right. Let the good times
Yeah,
roll.
no wonder when you were a kid, man, it was so exciting because you did have 3 months off.
Yes.
So it's one thing to have like 5 days or a 3-day weekend or whatever, but man, you
But
got
you
the
count
whole,
those days down. The summer, you're like,
Also,
it's
you're going
right?
to camps, you're hanging out with friends,
buddies.
The depression when August hit, like, oh, damn it, we only have 1 month
That is
left.
their Sunday. That's
Yeah.
why, kids. August is one long. It's a 4-week Sunday. For
Unlimited
them.
Labor Day weekend is much more enjoyable as an adult.
Oh, especially if
as
you
a
got kids at home.
Yeah, as a kid, it sucked.
Yes.
Because you knew what
I
was
know.
coming.
Because you're back to school shopping, which is kind of fun, but you still don't like it because it's
Because of what it means.
right. You're going into the dark cloud. Like I don't want to be here anymore.
I'm with you. Nowadays, when I see back to school shopping, I get excited. I'm like, ooh, football.
That's what they mean.
Keeping up with fashion trends. 10 things we all stopped doing in our 40s because it was time to grow up. I never
really did.
Yeah.
And even if I thought I did, people let me know I didn't. So.
All I know is this: if I need clothes and I buy it and it's new and it happens to be fashionable and I like it, okay. But keep in mind that's going to go away in 2 years.
That's the thing. If you happen to be fashionable, that means either it caught up with me or it's all an accident.
Right.
Also, by the way, everything is fashionable. I've already done it at this age. It's already come around again.
Right.
Like, and that's what's sad. That makes you go, oh no, this again? Like if corduroy makes a comeback or whatever it is. Like I've already lived this.
I got a pair of corduroy pants.
Yeah.
Not the thick corduroy. They have done better with corduroy.
All right.
And I put them on and I'm like, oh my God, I actually like
What do you guys?
I got a pair of corduroy Air Maxes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just haven't broken them out.
You've seen what's the new fashion trend now as far as the people who care, the hipsters. It is early 90s grunge wear.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah, for sure.
it's flannel shirts. It's like basically things that I've worn my entire life.
Seattle's
Anyway.
coming up.
So right now, you were fashionable.
Correct.
Eating fast food.
I just don't in general. And it's not for any moral stance. People, oh man, what's your... I'm like, I don't have a thing with it. I just, if I'm going to go out to eat anywhere, it's not going to be McDonald's. And it's nothing against McDonald's, but like, I'll go to Red Robin, still go to Five Guys, might even pick up Dick's, but I just
also fast food is part of the car lifestyle. So if you're not driving to work, doing all that, you normally take the train or the bus, 100%. Or whatever. So it just makes it easy. Like, there's a McDonald's, I'll get a McMuffin.
I just recently got a car. I was like, I'll be eating all this fast food. The first day I got the car working, I went to KFC. I haven't been to a drive-thru since.
But you have the opportunity to do that when you drive like, oh God, a Sonic. You just whip it.
I mean, you could. I'm just saying, I'm without it. Somewhere over the time, like fast food just kind of lost its appeal. And I still like it. Don't get me wrong.
I know it's good every time I eat it. It's just not a place I go. But if I see an Arby's, like Sorry, man. I'll let. And the thing is, all these different sandwiches Arby's is offering, it's like, dude, I just want a roast beef sandwich.
Binge watching TV shows.
All right, that one is BS.
That's crap. Because look, one thing, here's the difference. Is for people over 40 now. Streaming has only been around for however many years it's been here. So now that we can, what I have found is, I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to ignore this show for 3 months. I know I want to watch it, but when it's done with its season, I'm going to
give me that look for?
What did you stay up late last night watching there, Ted?
I said that one's BS. I still binge watch shows. I know you give me a look like, no, I'm 100% on this. I started rewatching.
I thought you were going against it.
Breaking Bad on a flight, and I just got sucked back in. Yeah, I was up to like 1:30.
But the thing is, before stream, you couldn't really binge watch a TV show.
Unless there was a marathon on a channel.
Exactly. So this thing with streaming, like, that's new to all of us, man. So, hell, and there's shows, like, I just finished Yellow Jackets, all right?
There you go.
People say, check it out. It's been like 3 years. I never watched it. Then I finally put it on, said, this is so effed up, I like it. And binge watched like 6 episodes. All right, it's 2 a.m, dude. You got to work tomorrow. Just go to bed. So watch one more.
But the number one thing that we all stopped doing in our 40s because it's time to grow up. The double drum roll.
Yes.
Those late night outings.
For me,
you're in your 50s and you'll still go out late, man.
It's all situational.
I've cut down on it because I'm married. Like, I'm down with it, but when you come home and your wife's arms are folded and you can feel the temperature drop when she makes eye contact,
they're never happy.
I've cut down on it because I'm not married.
I still like a good late night having fun.
Yeah.
Here's what I found, though. I can have a late night. If I do it at home, it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I was like last weekend or something, man. We're like 2 o'clock in the morning sitting out front. My wife's dead asleep in the living room on the sofa. It only came to an end. She finally, I just hear someone go, your wife looks pissed. But she always looks like that.
Steve, I know.
Then the front door opened, and she was like, you guys are so loud. We have neighbors. It is 2 a.m. We didn't know what time it was. I'm like, okay, my bad.
But I know you can stay up late. Between 40 and 50, that whole thing shifted for me. For whatever reason, I could do it a lot more then. But, I don't want to do the things that it takes me to get to the point where I can stay up late.
I'm just a late night. I'm a night person, man.
I'm a night person, too. Also, with your golfing, though, you guys start boozing at like 8 a.m.
That is
knock it right out, man.
Oh, yeah.
A man in the UK passed away while on vacation in Jamaica while attempting to complete a gutsy challenge.
What was that gutsy challenge?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
Hi, this is Shannon Storms-Bedore, Real Housewife of Orange County and entrepreneur. When my company, Real for Real, started selling our health products online, we struggled to ship our orders out quickly and without error. But ShipStation's simple dashboard made it easy to manage orders from every marketplace. Plus, with ShipStation, we get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. Automate your shipping with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com/audio for a free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com/audio.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
They called him the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he really was for decades.
He extended his tentacles like an octopus throughout the entire entertainment industry.
Mr. Lou Wasson.
This is Glitter and Might, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series written and narrated by me, Sean Levy. All episodes are available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Shannon Storms-Bedore, Real Housewife of Orange County and entrepreneur. When my company, Real for Real, started selling our health products online, we really struggled to find a way to ship our orders out quickly and without error, until we started using ShipStation. ShipStation's simple dashboard makes it easy to automate shipping tasks and effortlessly manage your orders from every marketplace, including Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, and more. print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery times, and take advantage of discounts up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. And with enterprise solutions that make warehouse optimization easy, ShipStation scales when your business does. No wonder 98% of companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life. Spend more time growing your business and start automating shipping tasks with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com/audio today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's shipstation.com/audio.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. exclusively on the Odyssey app as we go live with Odyssey. Join in on the action as we cover interesting facts, top 10 lists, and some fun new games. Follow the Men's Room page on the Odyssey app and join in all the fun Thursday afternoons at 1.
All right, of a minute to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Big time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and this shot of the day sent to me by our very own Mike Hawk this morning. It's about a runaway bull in Pakistan. So the runaway bull, he was filmed running through the streets of a city in Pakistan before darting into a local restaurant through the front door. So a video filmed in Karachi shows the bull running loose through the streets of the city, people on motorcycles in pursuit, which is probably why it's running. Anyway, the video shows the bull charge at a man that's standing outside of the Kopi restaurant, causing that guy, obviously, to run inside. The bull follows the man inside of the restaurant. The restaurant was a steakhouse. The bull was slaughtered, and they served it up for dinner.
Nice.
Well, good. I'm kidding. That bull was not slaughtered. They trapped it inside of the restaurant. It was led away with ropes. I knew you sons of bitches would be happy.
Why not?
The bull ran into a steakhouse.
So what?
It was cut up and eaten. Do we eat bull?
He's a steak
right?
thief. He's El Gaucho.
Ooh, he is. Do we ever eat bull, or is it just cow?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think
we eat chicken,
I'm
but as far as I know, we don't eat rooster.
If I got a dairy cow, can I eat it? I don't know these things. Probably not. Maybe that's the worst meat you'll ever eat. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that we eat bull. Obviously, you wouldn't eat that bull, so meat would be hot because he's all charged up.
You don't eat hot meat. You typically don't. Yeah.
Give him a massage, calm him down, blow weed in his face.
Easy,
calm down. That way we can eat you later.
Yeah. Chill out.
So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy. So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
A short can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola! All right, Brandon, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Thank God. So you got 5 categories to choose from. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? Interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. Hit Me with your best shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for creating the problem.
Well, I've done drugs and I've done interior decorating the last 2 times I was on. Let's do the Hit Me with your best shot.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
All right, here's the story. After his Minnesota home was burglarized last month, a man by the name of Blaze Smith, he anticipated that the intruder would return. So he left the window open and then sat in wait, armed with his choice of weapon. So the day after the break-in, the thief, that would be Aldo Gomez, he did in fact return to Smith's residence and climbed through that same window that he'd illegally entered the day before. But when Gomez got inside of the home around 9 p.m., he was confronted by the 28-year-old Smith. Gomez fled the residence, but Smith was in pursuit. So outside of the mobile home, surveillance video captured Smith chasing and repeatedly hitting Gomez on the back of his head with the weapon. The blows left Gomez with a fractured skull. Well, when the cops arrived at Smith's residence in response to the burglary call, Gomez was sitting in the front yard bleeding. He was subsequently taken by ambulance to a hospital while being treated. And he admitted to burglarizing Smith's home and returning the next day to, quote, take more stuff. Well, Gomez was arrested on a pair of felony counts, one of which carries a maximum 20-year term. Now, when questioned about the violent confrontation, Smith, the homeowner, told police that after he reviewed his camera footage following the initial break-in, he knew it was Gomez from his build and the way he walks. And he knows this guy from prior interactions. But instead of contacting police, he waited for the neighbor to return. So while surveillance video recorded Smith clobbering Gomez after he left the residence, he told cops that he only hit Gomez while he was inside of the home. Anyway, Smith ended up being charged as well with a pair of felony assault with a dangerous weapon counts. The question is, what did he use as a weapon? Was it a bowling ball, a baseball bat, a frozen chicken, or a bag of sugar? So bowling ball, baseball bat, frozen chicken, or bag of sugar.
Man, I'm going frozen chicken all day long, bro.
Where'd you say it was? Or did you?
Minnesota. I don't know where in Minnesota, but in Minnesota.
And how old's the dude?
28.
Brandon, I'm going based on the fact that he ran and caught him outside of his home.
Correct.
Bowling balls between 8 and 13 pounds. Could be kind of hard to run with. Frozen chicken, again, just kind of slippery and frozen chicken.
5 pounds.
I'm going to go baseball bat.
Beat on the bread.
I'm going to go bag of sugar.
Bag of sugar for 10. All right, Brandon, what do you think?
I am your neighbor.
It's definitely the frozen chicken, bro. Like I almost want to do it now. I want to hit someone with the frozen chicken for real.
I mean, you can. We're not recommending it, but you can do that.
Yep. All right, what did he attack his neighbor with after breaking into his home? A bowling ball, a baseball bat, a frozen chicken, or a bag of sugar? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
Explore trails less traveled, just northeast of Vancouver, with a cruise along the North Clark County Scenic Drive. Stop by the Cedar Creek Grist Mill or the Ridgefield National Wildlife Refuge, and be sure to see Molten Falls. Fun for the whole family. Soak in the final weeks of summer outdoors and explore Vancouver, Washington. Close to everything, but far from typical. Enjoy all that summer in Vancouver has to offer. For more attractions and adventure ideas, check out visitvancouverwa.com.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories, hit me with your best shot on Profile This. A man's home was burglarized, and he figured it would happen again. So he kind of baited the guy. Left the window or door open and waited. And the thief did come back. The owner hit him over the head with something or hit him with something while chasing him out of the property. So the owner was actually charged as well.
Correct.
As the guy who tried to break into his home. Question is, what did the homeowner hit the guy with? A bowling ball, a baseball bat, a frozen chicken, or a bag of sugar?
And that is the question that we posed to Brandon, who has since hung up. He said frozen chicken all day.
He was confident. I thought it might be chicken.
Ted, you went sweet. Said a bag of sugar.
That would hurt.
It would, man. You get a good clock on that. Miles, you went with the baseball bat.
And the reason being, I figure if you're planning on something, frozen chicken is something you pick up in the moment.
Okay.
All those other things are something you would pick up out of, just necessity because it's close to you.
Sure.
But if you're planning it and you want to beat the hell out of somebody, grab something like a baseball bat. Yep.
Not only a baseball bat, it was a barbed wire covered baseball bat.
Ooh. Oh, what's the zombie show?
Walking Dead.
Yeah, wasn't he famous for that? I've seen that picture 100 times. The dude has the bat with the barbed wire on the end of it.
Okay, yeah, then like that. Yeah, they showed a picture of it. It's like, damn, man, that's some shit. Because the baseball bat's not good enough.
Exactly. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
I would tell you shouldn't go anywhere with a baseball bat if you don't have a glove in your car.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good point.
All right, so a lot of the big news lately has been about this Ocean Gate disaster. Look, they went down in the submarine. They didn't find them. Mm-hmm. And obviously, you get to a certain point in the ocean, it's just going to smash you.
Yeah, especially if you use, as the CEO of the company said himself, expired carbon fiber.
So, you guys remember Mythbusters?
Of course.
Yeah. Mythbusters. Mythbusters.
That's how Mike Tyson says, excuse me, Mythbusters?
And Mythbusters.
Really?
Mythbusters. I don't know why I can't say Mythbusters.
Want the sweet and sour shrimp?
Yeah, that's crazy. Mythbusters. I guess I just never really said it.
Well, one more time.
Mythbusters.
Who are you going to call?
Mythbusters.
Who are you going to call?
Busters of Myth.
The Busters of Myth, yeah.
Which is a great show.
It was, yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
That's why now when I drive around, I don't care if it's 50 degrees out. I have my AC on. People go, you're gonna get less gas mileage. False. Saw it on Mythbusters.
Miss Mythbusters.
They drove around in a track, and it was like a difference of feet.
Okay.
So,
well, when we were growing up, the air conditioning puoled more, especially like in a 4-cylinder.
We don't know that to be true, but certainly what our parents told us.
Yes, we got to turn it up going off this hill. Thanks, Dad.
So, back in 2009, they had basically this clip has gone viral. Yeah. I haven't done anything in 4 days.
So what's wrong with your mouth, man?
I don't know. And my body's like, we need a beer. Thirsty. Basically, it showed what would happen hypothetically in an underwater implosion. They made a fake person out of pig parts, including bone, muscle.
I dated a woman like that.
Ted, did you watch this video?
I haven't watched it.
Did you see the response to this stuff? It isn't. So you like... Mike, see if you can pull this up.
Right, remember, real quick. Hang on. They made a person out of pig parts, bones, muscle, fat, skin, guts. Mm-hmm. They put it in a diving suit, sunk it to 300 feet underwater, and let nature and pressure take its course.
But 300 feet? It was one of those old, 20,000 leagues.
Copper.
Big old, with just the circular glass facing the front. So the typical old, Jules Verne looking.
You said 300 feet.
That's what it says here.
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's not too far down.
How far down, in a free dive as a human being? I want to say, didn't someone break a record as maybe 120 feet or somewhere around there?
That might be a typo, because you're right. 300 feet doesn't seem that deep.
But I guess if you're in a diving suit 300 feet deep, I bet you it seems plenty deep.
So they have a bunch of people that are watching. So they all put this thing together. They build this pig part thing.
Pig part man.
And then but they're all watching it because they have it all camered up. So Mythbusters, of television. So they are all just watching what happens inside this suit.
Ooh.
You got it?
I got it.
As they lowering it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready in 3, 2, 1.
Yep, the effect of the cut hose was less than instantaneous. But once the air pressure was exhausted, physics took over, and the drastic pressure differential pushed Meat Man into his helmet, exactly as the myth predicted.
All right. Now, for the record, the professor says, quote, the reenactment has very little in common with the last moments of the Doom Titan sub passengers, who authorities say were instantly killed at much greater depths and under much higher pressure. They probably would have no idea what had happened.
No.
You hope so. Right? Because the initial scenario, in the Coast Guard, they have X amount of hours of airlift. Look, if I found myself in that situation, I'd much rather have the catastrophic thing go wrong. Because, like I said, you wouldn't know.
Instead of being down there for days.
You would know anything's wrong. You would, 1 minute, you're like, this is amazing. And then you would just be dead. As opposed to, we sunk to the bottom of the ocean. You have 90 hours of airlift. That, to me, is...
Well, TV and in movies also have kind of ruined things for people, right? Like suffocating isn't nearly as quick as people think, right? So, if you're in that I'm with you. I'd rather be smashed to death instantaneously than slowly losing air. And even at that point, it would still take a long time.
And the worst part is, and I don't know how honest anyone would be. The Coast Guard was stringing everyone along. And Ted, you and I called it instantly. I ain't coming back, bro. But
right, we said that on that Monday, right? We're just if you've lost contact and it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do, it's down there.
But they said even if it went to the bottom. But the other thing they say, and they never made it all one sentence because they wanted to give people, some sense of hope. But when you string together the critical things they said, you're like, so you know they're dead. Because they even said, okay, so they have however many hours of air left. And if it's sunk to the bottom, they're still alive, blah, 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 blah. And then, like 4 paragraphs later, they would say, if it is at the bottom, we have no way of recovering it. I'm like, then there's no chance. I mean, that's
I think James Cameron said the same thing in a bunch of interviews. Sunday night, they all had a little phone conversation with the people who were in the know in that world.
Yeah.
They basically, once they knew that boom went off, and it blew the communication out, because that's when it happened. Yeah. So once they put the two together, they're like, nah. The people in the know, I guess, knew.
Sure.
But also, I agree with Thrill. I don't understand why you'd be like, well, they still could be alive, but even if we find them, we can't get them. It's like, you're just kind of, at that point, you're dragging it out, and you're almost, it's worse for the families and stuff.
But then their comeback was, but, if it's up on the surface, we can scan this area. It's like, but it's not on the surface, 1. 2, the Navy or the Coast Guard themselves said, sonar heard the implosion, and that's what it is because there's nothing else down there, and that was an hour and 45 minutes into the descent. You heard that, which lines up with when you lost connection.
There's a lot of I've seen a lot of videos now too showing about how deep the ocean is. I don't think people fathom it, right? I mean, just
hey, nice choice of words.
It is so deep, right? Like blue whales can't go down there. There's no light. You basically have no idea what's going on. I mean, you're talking deeper than the Grand Canyon.
What's the depth of a blue whale dive? Because they're I know they can do the deep dive.
They go the farthest, but even they have a limit. It seemed like it was only about halfway before.
Wow. So the next one, I don't know if you read about this or not, but there was
6,500 feet.
There was a meteorite that hit the ocean.
Oh, yeah, the guy's looking for that, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking for that meteorite based on the fact that the meteorite did not burn into reentry. And when it hit the water, it was going at a much faster speed, I guess, than typical, planetary debris.
It believes it came from outside of the solar system based on the speed.
So they're
because the sun regulates how fast anything's going to move as long as your origin is the solar system. But at the speed this was going, is like, look, this had to come from somewhere else, and that's why its speed was what it was.
So now they're going to go look for what they think to be a UFO at the bottom of the ocean. Who knows?
I think it's a rock, but probably. He wants it to be a UFO.
And the other thing, too, people got to keep in mind, most of the time, and look, I watch these shows, right? I think some of the shipwrecks are crazy, right? Yeah. Learning about Blackbeard and this and that. But it's they're not that far from the coast.
Correct.
That's where
that is correct.
That's where these wrecks are. So you can get down there and see them. Whereas the Titanic's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean,
and then
out there in the open.
Even when you say the ocean's deep, right? Obviously it is. You say this is the floor of the ocean, but then there's the Marianas Trench. So
correct.
It's the floor of the ocean, and then there's the
tallest
deeper
mountain
than the Grand Canyon, and water.
The tallest mountains on this planet are underwater.
Yeah, I mean that's
all you need to know. They're 35,000 feet.
Yeah. It's a mountain, but you can't see it.
Like the top of Guam is one of the biggest mountains on the Earth.
I mean, in theory, wouldn't all continents kind of be like the top of a mountain?
They just need to be tall enough to get out. Yes. Yeah. I mean, correct. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I climb Everest. I'm already here.
That's a good point.
Mountaintop.
That's a good point. We're on top of a mountain right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, look, I saw Waterworld. They're swimming around, and it's ski resorts and everything because the whole world is water.
That's a terrible movie, man.
And Dennis Hopper's alive.
I saw it in the theaters.
Did you?
I did.
That's a 3-hour
movie. Were you
movie.
disappointed when you left? Did you know what was bad at the time?
I didn't, but I was also a teenager.
That helps.
My old man would put that movie on every time it was on TV.
Really?
Yes.
What did you think
that
of?
same thing. I had a buddy. He loved it.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of
never looked interesting to me.
It's the Mad Max of the sea, so to speak.
But Mad Max is good.
That's the difference.
That is a weird one, though. What's worse? Mad Max, you're stuck out in the desert, and there's not water. You got to find some.
Yeah.
But I almost think being on so we're surrounded by water, but we can't drink any of it.
It's kind of like being in the desert, but there's just water around. Because it was hot out there, too. It did not look good in Waterworld. You were going to get sunburned if you were out there.
I feel like they have some type of saline extractor.
I would say this, based on the movies and just the way they portray Mad Max, which is some of my favorite movies ever, the whole franchise, love them, I think I'd rather deal with Waterworld. There's a lot less rape and murder. That's all. Seriously, those Mad Max movies, man, situationally right, they both suck. Too much water, no water, but man, Mad Max, I don't know, maybe people are getting sun poisoned or something, but like those are brutal movies, which is why I like them.
Right, but I mean, that's also just the mindset you got to have when the lights go out.
Yeah.
I scared some friends of mine a couple weeks ago.
Did you tell them, Arthur?
Yeah, my theory was a little more aggressive, but yeah.
Ours is already bad, man.
Correct, but I'm talking about the lights going out. Oh,
going out. All right.
Yeah. And they were like, I was just like, we got to start blasting. Right? Like, we got to set a tone. I know where my house is that I'm going to. Like, I'm going to drive up that road. Anybody even gets next to me, it's like, you're out. Yeah.
Ted and I determined that, what was it, 30 minutes or was it an hour?
I think it was an hour. We gave it an hour.
If there's just a standard blackout, in a rolling blackout, summertime, too much air conditioning, even if we're at work, if the power's not on in 1 hour, we put on eye black, wear a camo, and resort to cannibalism.
Yeah. Originally, we were going to raid the vending machine, but we don't have a vending machine.
No.
So we have nothing to protect now. Yeah. Unless you want moldy cheese that's been sitting in the fridge. And don't think I don't know whose that is.
Yeah. All them egg dishes.
If you're like me and you love Idris Elba, the series premiere of Hijack on Apple TV, that starts tonight. He's an awesome, just great actor. So you probably want to check that out. Other than that, good news. Your Mariners already lost.
Oh, dang.
Don't have to watch it at home.
Yeah. Don't bother. Hey, look, they're bad. All right. It's not my fault. I mean, every time we do the mega cast, it's like, they're around 500. They're around 500. It's like, I mean, look, Cal Riley said it last night. He's like, we're not good. Something needs to be done. What's the something? We don't know.
Right. We knew.
USA does Gold Cup, though, right, tonight?
Oh, good call, Miles. Yeah, USA is playing some Gold Cup action.
All right. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Tourist in Jamaica learns every little thing is not going to be all right. Meanwhile, a man donates money to a food bank, but now his wallet is kind of light. Ponzi scheme alleged to turn cow poop into clean green energy. Mayor Polinsky caught spray painting graffiti on a tunnel for all to see. And to Maryland, where fireworks try to blow up a house or something like that. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story. Our top story. We go to Jamaica, where a man on vacation should have walked away from the challenge. The UK man was out enjoying his vacation at a bar when he decided to take up a challenge, drinking all 21 featured cocktails on the bar's menu.
Uh-oh.
He held his own decently well, finishing about 12 of the drinks before forfeiting the challenge and returning to his hotel room, where he did unfortunately die that night. A pathologist says the man's cause of death was an acute gastroenteritis due to alcohol consumption. A follow-up investigation found that he had already been drinking brandy and beer earlier throughout the morning.
All right, that's what I was going to say. That's what I read. Yeah. And then he met up with those two girls that were trying it, and he's like, all right, I'm game.
Right. And it's maybe if you were dry when you went in there, but that 20 what was it? 21
cocktails were on their list.
Right. 21 cocktails. And this isn't just beers. Like 21 beers, cocktails, I could consider it. But you tried to go for the 30-pack, Ted, and it was...
I mean, I would imagine he probably had 21 over the course of the day. If he started with beer and brandy.
Sure. But just a night out at the bar, I don't know if I could knock down 21 beers at the bar.
That'd be intense at a bar.
That'd be a day.
Yeah, in a day.
That's a day.
Yeah.
You could maybe do it in a day.
Right.
You started at 9 a.m., just kept your pace on, 3 beers an hour.
Sure.
But you're still going to be really...
You're going to be destroyed, right? Like, people
better be light beer, too.
I don't think they really consider just how much alcohol that is. In other news, one man's mistake on GoFundMe turned into a viral bout of charity. The man had gone on to the fundraiser at the behest of his neighbor, who informed him of a charity that he was the head of that sends food to a hungry area of Bangladesh. Wanting to be a good and charitable neighbor, he went to the fundraiser to donate $150. But he flew into a panic after he got a text alerting him to an unusually large charge to his credit card. Turns out he had made a mistake while typing in the donation and given $15,000 instead of $150.
Oof.
He went to GoFundMe customer service and got a refund process, but while it was going through, he got an outpouring of gratitude from the village. They sent him photos with facts of his name, like, thank you. And I think his name was Michael, like, thank you, Michael. They made a video. Thank you so much for all of your generosity. This whole village is gonna benefit from your great charity. Like, he got
so many videos and photos, all mentioning him by name for his generosity. Due to this, he gave $1,500 instead of the original $150 and shared the story on Reddit, which sent the masses to the page where a ton of people gave donations and blew their donation goal out of the water.
That's cool.
So that's the good that came from it. Is that
thank you so much? The actual villain's like, oh, damn it.
You saved us.
I mean, it's like,
you saved us. You're our hero.
What would you do? You bet $150. You accidentally sent $15,000, but then you get the video. I mean, from the village, they're holding signs of your name.
I can't afford to throw down $15,000. I'm getting that
sorry.
refund.
I can't either. But it's like, oh,
I'd probably still give him the $150.
I'd give him the $150, but they're not right. The rest of the $14,850 comes home.
Right. Yeah, I'm not opening it to $1,500 like this guy did. Like, no, you get my $150. Put the signs back.
I feel so bad. Like, they're gonna be so mad.
Save it for. I got a plain ass name. Save it for another guy with my name.
They've saved us. Like, okay, I haven't.
Right.
And here's why.
That's about that.
Yeah, like, oh, Ted Smith saved us. Like, I'm sure there's another Ted Smith has a lot more money.
Exactly.
You have to hope so.
Go for it.
No, but see, you would say the Ted Smith. Like, there's only one.
Thank you, the Ted.
All right.
Thank you so much, the Ted. A vandal has been caught in Helsinki. Guards of a local tunnel leading to the harbor noticed a man inside spray painting graffiti on the tunnel wall, detained him, and called police. You can imagine their surprise when the vandal turned out to be the deputy mayor of the city.
Ooh. Really?
He's a known supporter of street art and used to decorate the walls around town when he was younger.
I mean, that's fine.
So he's got a history of it.
But it's still illegal is the problem.
Right.
I like street art. I do not like graffiti, but it's still illegal.
And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the turn of Big Dummy. The head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. The lovely Taryn Daly's up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Curiosity surrounds you at Pacific Science Center's Boeing IMAX Theater with state-of-the-art digital projection and sound. Watch your favorite blockbusters on Washington's largest screen. That's 4,800 square feet of the world's greatest heroes and villains coming at you in 2D and 3D. And you're supporting science education in the process. Check out our upcoming schedule and get your tickets before they're gone at pacsci.org. That's PACSCI.org.